Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into Wilmington Wildcats Weekly here on the Christian Internet Sports Network as we get set for homecoming football tonight for Wilmington. Back on the home field to take on the Mantino Panthers, a pair of 3-1 teams getting ready to go at it here tonight. It is homecoming, as we just mentioned, which means they are going to introduce the homecoming court and do all of that stuff in between games, which happens to be right now. JV team did lose to Mantino tonight. The final score of that JV matchup was 22-16, and there was just one particular running back on that JV squad for Mantino that Wilmington just could not handle in Jeremiah Alexander, the 5'6", 142-pound sophomore. He ran wild tonight and ended up, could have scored another touchdown and just kind of took a knee inside the 20 and ended up burning out the clock for Mantino, and they get the win in the JV matchup. So, beautiful night for football. I mean, how in the world do we keep having these nights where it's 70 degrees at kickoff? I mean, you can't have better weather than we've had so far this year.
You know, I was talking to my wife, your mom, and said, I think this is overall the entire year. It's the best weather year we've had in 40 years. Since we've been up here.
Yeah, it has been very, very good from a weather perspective. I will tell you, last week, though, that game probably should have been suspended, and they didn't. And Coach Ritson just said at Catbackers, he's like, listen, if they say we can keep going, we're going to keep going. So that's what they ended up doing. But the Cats ended up getting a win last week over Herscher, 49-7, which moved the Wildcats to 3-1 on the year. Mantino last week, a 26-21 winner over Reed Custer, and that's the second week in a row that Mantino's been in a game that's gone down to the wire. They won that one, and the week before they lost right at the end against Herscher. So this team has been in some good games. They are 3-1. And you kind of got to look at both things here and go, okay, the edge is to Wilmington. But anytime you play Mantino, Piatone, just those kind of schools, you never really know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you really never do. Remember that year we went the last play of the game in Mantino?
The miracle in Mantino, as a matter of fact, that was a year ago, like maybe 2 weeks ago. Matter of fact, they were talking about it at Catbackers a few times ago. But that was one of the craziest endings to any game I've ever seen. Mantino, all they needed to do was had their starting quarterback got injured or something and had to come out, and they put in their backup quarterback, and instead of putting him under center and just taking a knee and burning out the clock, they tried to run a play and what looked like score another touchdown, fumbled the football off the snap, and Wilmington picked it up and ran it into the end zone for a touchdown and tied the game on that was one of the craziest nights ever, the Miracle and Mantino night. There have been some good ones over the years. That was a classic, at least on the Wilmington side of things. I don't think Mantino remembers it that way, but Wilmington for sure does.
Yeah, I'm sure that's true.
All right, let's take our first break of the night. When we come back, we'll go through your results from last week, preview some games that are coming ahead tonight, and later on in the pregame show, we'll get to our interview with Coach Jeff Raines as well. This is Wilmington Wildcats Weekly, brought to you by Breezer Construction Company here on the Christian Internet Sports Network. Breezer Construction Company is a proud supporter of Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network. For over 40 years, Breezer Construction Company has led the way in providing quality construction to the industrial, utility, and pipeline industries. For more information on Breezer Construction Company, go to breezerconstruction.com. That's breezerconstruction.com. Or call 815-521-0900. Warren's Collision Center is now at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. They accept all insurance companies, and as always, customer service is their top priority. Contact Warren's Collision at 815-458-3300, stop by online at warrenscollision.com, or visit in person at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. Warren's Collision Center is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair. Wildcat Self-Storage is a facility providing clean, convenient, and well-maintained storage units. They provide great customer service with competitive rates, and they also have online bookings and payments for your convenience. Wildcat Self-Storage is at 131 School Street in Wilmington, online at wildcatsst.com, and by phone at 815-768-0681. Wildcat Self-Storage is proud to be locally owned. This is Wilmington Wildcats Weekly, brought to you by Breezer Construction Company. Just a little ways away from opening kick tonight. Probably start that 20 minutes momentarily. They just got done introducing the homecoming court for Wilmington High School for this year. And as soon as the band gets off the field, they will get the clock started and we'll begin that 20-minute countdown for opening kick here tonight. And again, Coach Raines always gets a little iffy around homecoming time because you never really know. There's a lot of distractions going on during the week. You have the parade, you've got the dance, you have all this stuff, and a game is kind of sandwiched in the middle of all of that. And if you're not careful, you can get a little sideways.
You know, last week he was already kind of walking on pins and needles with this whole thing. You'd think, as consistent as his teams have been over the years, you think he's pretty well got this in hand. Not for him.
You just never know. You never know when it comes to homecoming night. All right, let's get to some results from last week. As we mentioned, Wilmington a 49-7 winner over Herscher. Mantino defeated Reed Custer 26-21. Piatone picked up a win by virtue of Lyle not having a schedule, so they get a forfeit win. And Cole City defeats Streeter 49-13. Other scores from around the area: Bishop Mack defeats the defending state champion Chicago Christian 75-0. But I will tell you this: Chicago Christian, I believe, lost 19 or 20 of their 22 starters. So it's not the same team, but still pretty impressive from Bishop Mack. Byron 63-9 over Stillman Valley. That's back to the Byron scores that we're kind of looking for.
Stillman Valley is usually a pretty tough customer.
They are. JCA defeated Marist 23-17 in a battle of teams that had not gotten a win, which is insane because JCA and Marist are usually both pretty good football teams. Morris blew out LaSalle Peru last week 48-0. Brother Rice defeated Loyola. When was the last time that Loyola 28-6 to Brother Rice? Loyola has been pretty tough over the years. Tolono Unity 40-10 over St. Joe Ogden. Some other scores in a battle of the Lincoln Ways. Lincoln Way West defeated Lincoln Way Central 17-12. Naz defeated IC Catholic 24-21. Again, if you're in 3A, IC is going to be a large problem. And I think Wilmington's pretty safely in 2A. But IC and Byron, everybody else in 3A pretty much just got to go, see you later.
What they really could do is just send them down to state and let them play.
But the problem is where IC is going to end up, which is like 6 wins or something. They'll play Byron in like the quarterfinals, which was what happened last year and was ridiculous. Like that shouldn't, but whatever. Well, we're getting off. That's going places I don't want to go tonight.
It's a little frustrating.
Yes. Chatham Glenwood 43-42 over Rochester last week. Seneca had themselves an interesting game with Genoa Kingston. Seneca a 35-28 winner over Genoa Kingston last week. Providence 21-11 over Niles Notre Dame. It was Monticello 39, St. Teresa 20. Thornton was defeated by Rich Township last week, 14-0. And Minooka 10-0 over Joliet West. Kind of interesting score there. And in the kind of rack it up score of the week, Chicago Hope 61-44 over Aurora Christian. Now for this week, games we're going to be keeping an eye on as this night rolls along. Herscher at 2-2, I think they have their bye week, which they do against Lisle, which means Herscher will be 3-2 and hopefully get some of their kids back that got injured last week, particularly their quarterback.
Yeah, that was a tough blow right there.
It was, and they need him to make any sort of playoff run. Coal City at 3-1 will host 2-2 Reed Custer. I know what you're thinking. Coal City's going to roll. It's not going to be any problem. But again, Reed Custer, Coal City, Wilmington, if you're not careful, weird things happen. But Coal City should have the upper hand, though. Piatone at 2-2 will host 1-3 Streeter. I still think Piatone is a 5-6 win team. We'll see how they do with Streeter tonight. JCA at 1-3 will host Naz at 3-1. It does not get any easier for JCA. IC Catholic at 3-1 will host 0-4 Marist. The same team would just barely lost to JCA, so IC can't take that one lightly either. Montini at 4-0 will be at 3-1 Marmion. Bishop Mack at 4-0 will host 3-1 Aurora Christian. It'll be really interesting to see where those two teams are at. So 4-0 and 3-1. Sandwich at 1-3 will be at 0-4 Harvard. Providence at 3-1 will host St. Francis, who's also 3-1. And that's pretty much most of the area stuff.
I kind of thought going into this year that Sandwich would be pretty tough to handle. And I'm not sure I got my thoughts fulfilled. Doesn't seem like
it's just kind of interesting the way things are kind of falling together this year. Wilmington, again, that big game with Morris. Morris proceeds to run on and not having any issues. And then you have the Cats kind of cruising since then. Coal City had one big matchup, and other than that has been cruising. There are other teams like Reed Custer. I will say this, though. Reed Custer is not really the same team that they have been. They've gotten a couple of wins. Now, Harvard is not a strong football team, but there are flashes from Reed Custer this year. I'm not saying that they're going to be up toward the top of the conference or anything, but there's flashes where they're back to being more competitive. You have Mantino, Piatone, and Herscher, who are almost all the same team, which is
true.
The most parity in the middle of this conference that it maybe has ever had. You have Wilmington, Coal City clearly at the top, above everything. But you got 4 or 5 teams in the middle that are like, who knows what's going to happen.
And you don't want to take a game against them for granted because they can knock you off.
Sure can. You can do it real quick. Now look at last week. That Herscher game, it was a 7-point game at the end of the first quarter, and they forced Wilmington to punt. And you go, okay, now stuff has to start waking up here. And it did. But if you're not ready to go, things can happen, and they can happen in a hurry. All right, we have an interview with Coach Ritson to get to here momentarily. A little bit longer one tonight, about an 8-minute or so interview. And we also will talk a little bit more about this game on the other side of our interview with Coach Ritson as well. Of course, Mantino with Coach R.J. Haynes be ready to come into this tonight. And he's always ready to go, as is Coach Tully over there at Piatone. Just a lot of really kind of more long-term coaches now that are making the conference more interesting.
It is.
All right. We'll take ourselves a break. We'll come back with our interview with Coach Ritson here in just a minute or two. We are 15 minutes away from opening kick tonight here, homecoming game between Wilmington and Mantino. Back with more after this. This is Wilmington Wildcats Weekly, brought to you by Breezer Construction Company here on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Riverfront Lanes in Wilmington is the place for fun with family and friends. They have leagues and open bowling, along with all the extras, like bumpers for the kids and cosmic bowling. Riverfront Lanes is your party headquarters, too. Whether it's a birthday, company outing, or fundraiser, they can take care of you. Visit riverfrontlanes.com for hours and more information, or stop by at 402 South Water Street in Wilmington. The attorneys and staff at Odekirk & Rhodes are here to help during your most stressful legal situations, including criminal cases, divorce, custody, personal injury, and more. Odekirk & Rhodes will be with you every step of the way with aggressive representation that results in positive outcomes. Call 815-306-4864. Visit online at odekirklaw.com or stop by any one of their locations in Joliet, Mantino, Morris, or Wilmington today. Spins and Needles on Davie Lane is your local sewing shop in the Wilmington area. They specialize in sewing machine repairs and cleaning. Spins and Needles also has sewing supplies, quilt fabrics, sewing notions, and custom wind spinners. Stop by Spins and Needles at 614 Davie Lane in Wilmington from 10 to 4 Tuesday through Thursday and Friday and Saturday from 10 to 3. Or call 815-592-1183 for Spins and Needles. Hi, welcome back here. Welcome to Wildcats Weekly, brought to you by Breezer Construction Company and joined by the head coach of the Wildcats, Mr. Jeff Ritson. Coach, the other night, we got in the middle of that varsity game. We were like, uh-oh, there's some weather going on. There's a couple of conversations, and everybody's just like, we're going to let this thing go a little bit. And it's a good thing they did because you got it rolling in the second quarter and kept it rolling and got another win.
We did dodge the weather there a little bit. The referees made the decision to let us play normally, and we just went from there. But, hey, we played a good Herscher team, and the kids played well. I was happy for them. For our second road game and to continue to stay undefeated in the conference is something that's big. And I thought we played well in all phases. Special teams-wise, I thought we could play a little bit better here and there, but overall, hey, really happy with the win.
You know, it's interesting, too, coming out in that first quarter. And, of course, being the team that you are, you get the best shot from everybody. But Herscher was ready to go and had a couple little wrinkles of their own. And you get toward the end of the first quarter, and it's a tight game. You had to punt. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, time to make some things happen. And, of course, the second quarter ended up kind of snowballing a little bit. But, wow, you guys really responded to a little bit that Herscher brought.
They did, and give credit to Herscher. They did a nice job with their passing attack and took advantage of what we were doing coverage-wise. And so just like you said, we had to make some adjustments. Offensively, I think they were doing some things to take Ketman away, and Barry made some adjustments with Billy carrying the ball at quarterback a little bit. And so overall, I thought, in the second quarter, just as you said, I thought once we got momentum, we just kept it going, and then we carried that into the second half. But our kids responded well. There's no doubt, and they could have panicked a little bit because we just weren't on top of our game. And sometimes you got to give the other team some credit. They're playing some good football on their end, and we had to match that. And I think we did. And then we ended up once we started getting our confidence. I thought it really showed during the rest of the football game.
The other thing that was kind of interesting is seeing teams adjust to kind of how you guys have been playing defense, which is blitzing a lot, and sometimes the corners playing a little bit off. And you saw that some from Herscher trying to exploit those like little 5-yard passes and stuff like that. But particularly in that second quarter and on, it seemed like you guys really mixed things up well, and Oland on some of those blitzes just came through and had massive hits.
He did. And it was set up, and so we talked about that last week as a team that hey, this right now this is where teams are trying to get us, is in the short, quick passing game. And so we started off blitzing a little bit. Then just like you said, now it's a chess match between me as a D coordinator versus our O coordinator. Am I going to drop into coverage? Am I going to blitz? It just so happened we were fortunate that Zach got through a couple times with some nice blitzes, and I thought Moran and Nash Rink both helped us out coverage-wise, and that helped out our DBs, which in turn were playing good team defense. And so I think that's something we're going to have to continue going through the rest of our league here. We're playing a lot of spread teams, and we'll play a lot of spread teams, hopefully if we get into the playoffs and get that kind of experience.
Talk a little bit about those DBs, too, because things change throughout the night. Either how you guys line up or how they feel comfort-wise against certain receivers, and just talk a little bit about how that works.
Yeah, you know what? At the beginning of the game, we always tell our DBs, you got to gauge the receiver you're playing and what exactly speed-wise are you dealing with. Is he a quick guy? Is he a really fast guy that's going to run by you? So until you get that, that knowledge of this is how tight I can play him, we might give up a few. We're going to play it safe to begin with. I think as the game goes on, you see us get tighter and tighter with coverage, and also part of that too is going to be down in distance. If it's 3rd and 10, we're going to give you a little bit more room. If it's 2nd and 3, 3rd and 3, we're going to tighten up and play a little bit different that way. But it is something that we do talk to our kids about. As they come off the field, they're going to let me know. I mean, matter of fact, a lot of our kids are my defensive linemen. I ask them, is what we're doing working? And then I go to my linebackers. Is our keys true? Are they getting you to the football? And then to our DBs, they give me, hey, I'm good, or that they could come to me and say, hey, I could use help on certain situations. And so you put all that together, and then you go through the rest of the game making your calls on that.
So now you go from homecoming at Herscher, which is its own thing, to coming back to your own homecoming.
Yep.
And trying to keep everything straight and on that narrow path to keep everybody focused. And you get a Mantino team that it's kind of a little all over the place. A 3-1 record, definitely looking for a playoff berth. And then you look at what happened with Herscher, and now you go, okay, well maybe, and then people start, start looking at some things. But a team, again, that every year seems like you got to be ready for whatever they're going to come up with.
They really do, and RJ does a great job, RJ Haynes, with their spread attack. And what he does a great job of, and me and you have talked about this in many games, is when you're playing a running quarterback, boy, does that put pressure on your defense. Yeah. And their quarterback is a good one. And he has weapons. He has a 6'3" receiver. He has a smaller receiver, but as quick as can be. Special teams is going to be a big part of this game coming up. As I talked to Catbackers the other night, I can't remember his name, number 8. He kickoff return, a punt return for touchdowns. And so, but they're Mantino. They're going to play as tough as nails. They're going to have some different tricks for us as the game goes on. They're going to give us some things we haven't seen all year long, and then how do we adjust to that?
How tricky is it as a coach to balance your kids having a ton of fun during homecoming week and wanting to get the most out of that while also remaining focused for what you got to do?
You know what? It is a little bit of a deal where you want your kids to have fun. You want to make sure that they're enjoying their homecoming, particularly our seniors. But when it's time for practice, we got to focus on practice. When we have the homecoming parade on Friday, hey, that's great. Have a great time with the parade. But the minute we come off the float, we're going to walk to the game field, and we're going to have a walkthrough, and we're going to try to get refocused there. And then it's a normal Friday night for us. And then come Saturday, hey, be safe, have a ball, go to the dance, and be it as it may, and then conclude. I always tell them have a great week, which concludes with the dance Saturday night, and just have a great week. Enjoy being around your friends. And I go, hopefully there's a good crowd here for you guys. I know you want to play well in front of that crowd, so let's put all that together and make sure that we're doing okay.
And then lastly here, where do you stand injury-wise?
Yeah, we're still Cam Allen, boy. We just can't get that foot back, and he's going through some rehab with that thing, and I thought he was going to be back by the end of this week, and it looks like it's going to get into next week. And so we're being patient with it. Beyond that, we're doing pretty good injury-wise, knock on wood. And so hopefully, we can get through this game without any injuries, but we'll see what happens.
All right, Coach, good luck tonight, and we'll talk to you in a postgame.
All right, John, sounds good.
The Wilmington Chamber of Commerce at wilmingtonilchamber.org represents Wilmington businesses in many ways, including Employee of the Month, job postings, a full directory, event listings, ribbon cuttings, and more. They are also proud to announce their office location at 616 Davie Lane in Wilmington. WilmingtonILChamber.org is the source for all things business related in Wilmington.
Quigley Technology Services is your local source for computer help. They have built numerous websites, including ours, here at the Christian Internet Sports Network. Quigley Technology Services also specializes in virus removal, so your computer will get back to full speed now. And you can trust them for first-class computer repair, including free local pickup and delivery, plus on-site service, including after hours. Contact Quigley Technology Services at 815-293-7844 or stop by at quigtech.com. That's QUIG Tech.com. If you're looking for more information on Wilmington Wildcats football, then check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. Each week, Coach Ritson goes over game film, takes questions from the audience, and presents the Offensive and Defensive Player of the Week awards.
Plus, you'll get to hang out with other Wildcat fans and get the inside scoop on next week's game. So be sure to check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's.
Let's hear it for the band, Color Guard, Spirit Line, and Skill Cats.
Teresa's Family Styling Salon in Wilmington is an all-ages salon that will style your hair for that special look. They offer cuts, perms, and coloring for any fashion. They also carry Paul Mitchell and Brocato products. Teresa's Family Styling Salon is located in the Southgate Plaza in Wilmington, and you can call for an appointment at 815-476-1955. That's 815-476-1955.
Back here on Wilmington Wildcats Weekly, brought to you by Breezer Construction Company, getting set for opening kick tonight from Wilmington. As, wow, what a huge run through we have tonight. And when I say a lot of motorcycles, there is so many that they started lining up, I don't know, maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes ago. They're already 2 deep in the end zone, and they might go farther than that. Who knows? The run through all the way out to midfield or so here as they get set to welcome the Cats on what is a huge homecoming crowd tonight.
This is really a large homecoming crowd. They got the people lined up for a run through past 50 down to the 48-yard line on the opposite side of the woods. Boy, you can hear those motorcycles revving up. But the coach is keeping them out right to the last minute. Here they come.
Ladies and gentlemen, year 2025 Varsity Wildcats.
So the Cats will take the field here. Fireworks going off in the distance. And lights doing a little bit extra tonight. Motorcycles fired up as well. Come out through that smoke. The Cats will be in their gray uniforms here tonight. So Wilmington in their gray uniforms with purple numbers, and you know how much I love those. Actually, they are beautiful uniforms. They're just not a whole lot of fun to see from here.
Yeah, you get down there in the field and try to look up here and figure out what number the guy was that did such and such. It's impossible. And so it is a very difficult thing, but the uniforms themselves are outstanding.
All right, so Cats take the field here as we get set for opening kickoff tonight from Wilmington, as the Cats will go up against Mantino. Mantino, by the way, will be in their white jerseys tonight with dark helmets, dark pants. Wilmington won the toss, and they deferred to the second half. So the Cats will actually get set to kick off here momentarily, and we'll get ready to get this game underway. Boy, beautiful weather tonight. Huge crowd for homecoming. I mean, this is a huge crowd.
Not a leaf is moving on the trees, and it's just, well, it's like your son said when he stayed with me today, there's not a cloud in the sky all day long. And he was right.
Now,
beautiful.
Mantino didn't bring very many people. So if you're watching this thing and you're looking over there going, wait, this isn't a huge crowd. What are you talking about? You should see the Wilmington sideline.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a huge crowd on Wilmington's side. So Cats are going to get set to kick it off here, and they will kick it left to right. Mantino will get set to return. And we'll get this game underway. What has been a rather lengthy lead up to this game. We're used to like being in the second quarter by now.
Yeah, this has been a long time coming.
I believe that is Tyler Bueller back at his own goal line. I will tell you this, though. The Mantino jerseys aren't a whole lot easier to see because the numbers aren't big.
That's
so
true.
It's going to be interesting tonight, trying to pick through this between Wilmington's purple numbers on gray jerseys and the smaller numbers for some of these Mantino players. But Evan Ostheim will kick it off, and we'll get this thing underway. Ostheim's kick come down to the 20, across the 15 to the 20, 25 across the 30, and out to the 35 on the return goes Gonkowski. And Mantino will start up 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line. I will tell you this, though. The Mantino jerseys aren't a whole lot easier to see because the numbers aren't big. So it's going to be interesting tonight, trying to pick through this between Wilmington's purple numbers on gray jerseys and the smaller numbers for some of these Mantino players. But Evan Ostheim will kick it off, and we'll get this thing underway. Ostheim's kick come down to the 20. Across the 15 to the 20. So the Cats set up here on defense. Mantino 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. Rolling right side is Herod. Herod's pass is complete on the far side out to the 45-yard line. And complete to Caleb Jankowski. And it will be a gain of 10 yards and a Mantino first down. So a good first offering for the Panthers.
Mantino breaking the huddle, coming out, ready to start this.
So Mantino will face 1st and 10 from their own 45 on the far side hash. Handoff goes up the middle, and what looked like a decent hole eventually got closed up. And Herod's pass is complete on the far side out to the 40. Nicholas Honkes, I believe, on the carry there from Mantino off the far side. So number 15 will pick up 3 yards, and it will give Mantino a 2nd and 7. I do realize we have some repeating and stuff in my headphones, and we're going to work on that. It's partial. That's from the video feed here at Wilmington. We're working through a couple of things tonight. Pass on the far side, caught down to the Wilmington 30-yard line. Boy, that's a nice pass from Herod, caught on the far side by Jankowski, and boy, just like that, it is a gain of 23 yards and a Mantino first down. So, man, Herod to Jankowski is just turning into a good duo here tonight. Mantino a 2nd and 7.
Well, that pass was right on target. And something like Coach says, first you start kind of loose and you tighten up. You might need to start tightening up.
So handoff comes left side, inside the 25, down near the 23. On the run comes Honkes, the junior for Mantino, and got shoved out of bounds. But we do have a flag down at the 24-yard line of Wilmington, and Mantino saying it will be on the Cats. We'll see here momentarily. So we have looks like, is that a block in the back? Not entirely sure, but penalty goes on Wilmington, and they will move it ahead 10 yards. So we'll go all the way inside the Wilmington 15, all the way down to the 11-yard line of Wilmington, and another first down. So Mantino just cruising down the field on the first drive of the game. 2 receivers to the far side. Out of the shotgun is Herod. Rolls right side. Looking into the end zone. Fires, and that should have been picked off, and it ends up being caught. It went through the hands of a Wilmington defender. Looked like a for sure interception, and it ends up being caught on the far side. Now they're going to say incomplete. First they said touchdown. Now they're going to say incomplete, and Mantino will face a 2nd and 10 from around the 11-yard line. The first drive of the game. 2 receivers to the far side. Out of the shotgun is Herod. Rolls right side. Looking into the end zone. Fires, and that should have been picked off, and it ends up being caught. It went through the hands of a Wilmington defender. Looked like a for sure interception.
Okay, Mantino, the Panthers coming back out on the field. He's going to set up the next offensive play.
First they said touchdown. Again, we're still working on our feedback issue here with things coming back through our headphones, and we'll work on it momentarily. And in worst case scenario, I will just do something completely different. we'll go rogue here if we need to.
Oh, it's quiet.
Well, momentarily. So 2nd down and 10. Pass on the far side is incomplete. Down around the goal line. Actually a pretty good offering on the far side that was intended for Jankowski, who tried to come back to it. And it'll bring up 3rd and 10 for Mantino from their own 11-yard line. Issue here with things coming back through our headphones, and we'll work on it momentarily. And in worst case scenario, so 10:09 to go here in this opening quarter. No score between Mantino and Wilmington, but the Panthers have gone straight down the field here, and they sit just outside the Wilmington 10 at technically the 11. 2 receivers to the far side. Out of the shotgun here is Herod. Rolls right side, looking downfield, fires, has a receiver, and overshot him. Well, he had a receiver open down around the goal line. Jankowski was that receiver, and he threw it over his head and out of bounds. So Mantino is going to try and convert on 4th and 10 from their own 11. So we'll see how that goes. The 10:05 to go in the opening quarter. Wilmington let Mantino go straight down the field, but now starting to tighten up a little bit inside the red zone. So 2 receivers out to that far side. Connor Herod, the 5'11", 185-pound senior out of the shotgun, with Nicholas Honkus to his right. Herod drops back to pass, going to try to fire in toward the end zone, and it is intercepted in the back of the end zone, and it is officially intercepted, and will come back out to the 20-yard line. Boy, picked on that back line, and the Cats force a turnover, and they will take over out of the 20-yard line. I think it might have been Billy Moore who came up with it, but I can't say that for sure because it was the back side of the end zone, and the Cats will start 1st and 10. Here, the 5'11", 185-pound senior out of the shotgun, with Nicholas Honkus to his right. Herod drops back to pass, going to try to
Cats toughened up on defense, like Coach said they would.
Intercepted in the back
start
of the end
the
zone,
system of taking plenty of time off the clock.
And will come back out to the 20-yard line. Boy, picked on that. So the Cats will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20. Billy Moore will lead everything here for Wilmington. We'll bring them up to the line with Kettman to one side and Nate Couples to the other. Kettman will get the handoff off the left side, drags a defender out across the 30 to near the 31-yard line before he's finally tripped up. Be a gain of 11 yards and enough for a Wildcat self-storage 1st down.
Taking plenty of time off the clock.
So the Cats will take over 1st and 10
Boy, I tell you,
at their own 20. Billy Moore will lead everything here for Wilmington.
the Panthers marched right down the field. Looked like they were going to go right in.
Kettman to one side.
Once again, that defensive backfield for the
Nate Couples
Wildcats came through.
Get the handoff off the left side. Drags a defender out across the 30 to near the 31-yard line before he's finally tripped up. Be a gain of 11 yards. Up the middle he comes across the 45 to midfield, inside the 40, inside the 30, and all the way into the end zone it goes. So a touchdown for Wilmington, a 69-yard touchdown run. And Schrager on the carry for Wilmington out of that fullback spot, and Schrager goes all the way into the end zone, 69 yards, and the Cats lead at 6-0 with 9:04 to go here in this opening quarter. So up the middle he comes across the 45 to midfield, inside the 40, inside the Ostheim will come on and attempt the extra point. out of the hold of Finn Bryant. So good snap, good hold, and the kick is good as well. And the Cats lead 7-0 with 9:04 to go in the opening quarter. Take a break, come back with more Cats football after this on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Pro Real Estate is a family-owned business established in 1983. Its staff and sales agents work in all areas of real estate sales, from first-time home buyers to experienced investors. Located at 506 South Water Street in Wilmington, clients are welcome to stop by to discuss their real estate needs or visit our website at pro-homes.net. For a private consultation, contact us at 815-476-7916.
7-0 with 9:04 to go in the opening quarter. Take a break, come back with more Cats football after this on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Pro Real Estate is a family-owned business established in 1983. Its staff and sales agents work in all areas of real estate sales, from first-time home buyers to experienced investors.
So the Cats will get set to kick it off here from their own 40-yard line, going left to right, 9:04 to go here in the opening quarter.
We had 2 shots right there. First, they went down, marched down the field, looked like they were going to get a touchdown, and turned the ball over in the interception. Then one big run, and boom, Wilmington back up 7-0.
All right, so the Cats to kick off left to right, 9:04 to go opening quarter. Wilmington leading it 7-0. And Evan Ostheim will approach. So the Cats and a line drive down to the 10, out across the 15, 20, 25, and out to the 28 comes the return for Mantino.
2 shots.
That is Jason Gatkowski on the return, and it will set the Panthers up 1st and 10 from their own 28, almost the 29-yard line. See what this Cats defense does this time around. Last go-around, Wilmington gave up a bunch of yards, but no points. We'll see what they do here.
Yeah, see if they can tighten it up a little bit.
And a line drive down to the So Mantino will have it 1st and 10 from their own 20. 29, again, trips receivers to the far side. One back over here to the near. That is Jason Gatkowski on the return. Herod rolls left side, looking downfield, fires, caught. Man, that is a great throw and catch. Jankowski on the reception, and making a tackle is Finn Bryant. So Jankowski will pick up a bunch of yards, good points. 13 yards or so, and we'll give Mantino a first down. I don't know if this flag is for, is it maybe a face mask or something? I don't know. 29. I don't think anybody's been able to figure it out so far.
I don't know, I saw him right, he was right in front of us and made the tackle. And it didn't look like him.
And Herod rolls left side, looking downfield, fires, caught. Man, that is a great throw and catch. Jankowski on the reception. Well, here momentarily, I'm going to disconnect all this stuff. And I'm just going to rewire it, and the video feed will just have to be video tonight. And we'll give Mantino a first down. It'd be really impossible to talk and also hear myself talking at a different time at the same time.
Well, you're doing a good double job.
It's making it borderline impossible. 1st and 10 for Mantino from their own 44. So if it continues here tonight, folks, we'll just, at one of these commercial breaks, just redo our setup a little bit and go a different direction. Trips receivers to the far side, one back to the near. Herod's pass to the far side is blown up back at the 40. There's a flag down as well. And the video feed would just have to be video tonight. Wow. It's making pass caught on the far side by Bueller, and he will lose, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 yards. Good coverage on the far side for Wilmington. 1st and 10 for Mantino from their own 40. I would tell you who that is, but I can't see any numbers on the far side of the field for Wilmington. I think it might have been Finn on that far side, Finn Bryant. It is a penalty against Mantino, and face mask against Mantino, so that will back it up. So we have a loss of, where'd they put that ball? So a loss of 1 on the pass play? That seems interesting.
Oh, I already wrote down 3.
And now they'll back it up from there, I think.
I don't know. Maybe
Well, this officiating crew is having some issues here tonight, trying to get things figured out.
Maybe we can blame it on how hard the uniforms are reading.
Maybe.
No, probably not.
Well, yeah, I mean, they can see them. They're not that far away.
It is penalty.
So they're going to back them up here, I do believe.
Face mask against Mantino, so that will back it up.
How hard the uniforms are reading.
Maybe.
Well, that was Mantino's first offense
they can
tonight.
see them.
First
They're
penalty.
not that far away.
Each team's got
So
one apiece
they're
so
going
far.
to back them up here, I do believe.
All right, well, if we get a break here, I'm going to just completely redo this entire setup because this is going to drive me insane.
It is a little bit troublesome.
I'm trying to figure out. I was messaging a couple of people to see if I could figure out if it's if you could hear it on the home end. Because if you can't hear it on the actual broadcast, I can live with it. But I have a feeling it's coming through.
Mantino's first. If somebody's listening to the broadcast and can let us know if you hear the talk in the background, that would be a great help.
Well, the problem is, how are they going to get a hold of me?
If we get a break,
I mean, I guess they could technically send an email through the website or.
Second down and 12 to go.
There's an email link on there.
Whoa,
Guess I
where'd
can
they
check
go?
that. So 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the far. Herod out of the gun here. Drops back, fires left side, and it's knocked down at the line of scrimmage. So good job by the Cats defensively. And it will come up to 3rd and 11.
I have a feeling it's coming through.
Like
Cats with the deflection.
Jack Cutter might have gotten his hand up on that. It'll bring up 3rd down and 11.
Talk in the background, that would be a great help.
Well, the problem is, how are they going to get a hold of me? I mean, I guess they could technically send an email through the website or.
Yeah, we got it.
There's an email link on there.
Whoa,
Guess I
where'd
can
they
check
go?
that.
So 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the far. Herod out of the gun here. Drops
So
back, fires
it'll be
left
3rd and
side,
11.
it's
We're
knocked down
just
at the line of
trying to
scrimmage.
reset the game
So
clock
good
here.
job by the Cats defensively.
A little bit
And it will
of
come
an issue
up
with the clock
to
freezing up, and they're
3rd
trying to
and
get it
11.
reset. So in the meantime, it will be 3rd and 11, but you can't really do much with it. There's 8:36, so it's all back up there and fixed.
3rd down and 11.
So it'll be 3rd and 11. I think we finally get everything
it'll
back
be 3rd and 11.
underway
We're
here.
just,
So
trying to
trips
reset
receivers
the
to the
game
near
clock
side,
here.
1 to the far. Out of the shotgun again is Herod with
issue with the
a
clock
back to
freezing up,
his
and they're
right.
trying to get
Takes
it
the snap, drops
reset.
back to
So in the
pass,
meantime,
fires
it
right
will
side.
be
That
3rd and 11. You
is
can't really do much with
caught,
it. There's
I
8:36,
believe.
so it's all back up there and
Yeah,
fixed.
nice gain of 15, close to 16 on that far side. And I believe it's Caleb Jankuski again. He'll pick up 15 and enough for Mantino first down to the Wilmington 43-yard line. A whole lot of receivers everywhere in this one tonight. Trips to the near side, 1 to the far. Out of the gun again is Herod. Takes the snap, swings it left side, incomplete. Shot that over the head of Bueller. And
Takes the snap, drops back.
Couples coming up in coverage to knock that away, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 for Mantino.
15, close to 16 on that far side, and I believe it's Caleb Jankuski again. He'll pick up 15 and enough for Mantino first down to the Wilmington 43-yard line. Whole lot of receivers everywhere in this one tonight. Trips to the near side, 1 to the far. Out of the gun again is Herod. Takes the snap, swings it left side, incomplete. Shot that over the head of Bueller.
And Couples coming up in coverage to knock that away, and it'll bring up a second down. So the pass to the far side is incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd down and 10 for Mantino from the Wilmington 44-yard line, almost the 43. 8:10 to go in the opening quarter. You know, all these games that went super fast, we got out of here by, 8:45.
Yep.
This is not one of them.
That's correct.
2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the far. Herod out of the shotgun here with a back to his left on 3rd and 10. And on the near side, caught. That's a really nice play inside the Wilmington 30 down near the 27-yard line. That pass caught by Bueller. And it will be a gain of 16 more yards and a Mantino first down to the Wilmington 27-yard line or so. I'm telling you, these officials, every single down have to have like a 2-minute conversation to figure out what they're going to do.
That's correct.
I don't think I've seen this many conversations in the first 6 minutes of a game. So 1st and 10, actually, they moved it back out to the 28, so 15 yards. 2 receivers to the far side, 2 back to the near. Out of the shotgun is Connor Herod with 1 back to his left. 8:04 to go in this opening quarter. Comes back to Herod, chops back, pressured, now fires right side, caught, and that gets blown up. Boy, the Cats all over it. Might have lost about 2 yards or so. That's Nicholas Honkus with the reception, and it'll be a loss of maybe another yard. It'll bring up 2nd down and 11 as Cats trying to cycle through some people here. 2 receivers to the far side, 2 back to the near. 15 yards. As Herod fires far side, that is incomplete. Receiver turned around, the ball thrown a little bit too far behind him. That might have been Gatkowski on the far side to bring up 3rd down and 11 for Mantino. 7:27 to go here in this opening quarter.
Well, this has been one of the longest first quarters we've had all year long.
Reception, and it's been going on a while. You are correct with that. Maybe another yard will bring up 2nd down and 11. So 3rd and 11 for Mantino. The Cats still shuttling people on and off. 2 receivers to either side, far side hash mark. And pass left side, caught inside the Wilmington 20, down near the 18, caught by Jankowski. And Jankowski will pick up about 11 yards and a Mantino first down here in this opening quarter.
Well, this has been one of the longest first quarters we've had all year long.
It's been going on a while. You are correct with that. So 3rd and 11 for Mantino. The Cats still shuttling people on and off. So 2 receivers to the far side, 2 back to the near. Out of the shotgun again as Herod takes the snap, rolls right side, fires incomplete. Pass intended for Bueller. It'll bring up 3rd and 10, and now the scoreboard is completely gone. So we're going to go ahead and just change some stuff here while the scoreboard is down. So I'll be back in just a moment. Let me rework some things. Testing. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back up and running here on the web side of things, or at least on our website. I just had to bail out of the school video feed because it was going to drive me crazy. If I'm going to be completely honest, if you were listening at home, you probably heard stuff from us twice, 2 or 3 times, and we are also having issues in the press box as well. The power went down to the scoreboard. I think they finally got that back up and running. So you have not missed a thing at home. It's 6:59 to go here in this opening quarter.
No, it's not off on the field. We got to go. Is there a way to go turn it off out down there?
So they're looking at turning off the play clocks too. So again, 6:59 to go in the opening quarter. The Cats leading at 7-0 over Mantino. Trips receivers to the near side, one to the far, and Herod, the quarterback, just waiting for everything to be blown back into play here. Just a few things going on.
Well, it's a big mix-up, that's for sure.
I mean,
wow.
There's a lot of stuff going on here tonight, but sometimes you got to call an audible. We called an audible tonight, and they are on the field too. They're going to disconnect the play clocks. So Herod going to fire right side. That is incomplete, knocked away. Boy, good coverage out there on the far side. Pass would have been about a 5-yard gain or so, and knocked away incomplete. I believe that was Jankowski out there. So Billy Moore on the coverage and knocked that away on the far side. So 3rd down and 10 for Mantino from the Wilmington 18 or so. Herod shots back to pass, fires far side toward the end zone. That is incomplete. Billy Moore out there in coverage again. The pass goes through the hands of Jankowski and put right on the money. I'll tell you this. Connor Herod is throwing the ball where he needs to throw the ball.
He did. That's exactly where he had the best chance of completing
That's
it.
pretty impressive.
And give Billy Moore credit. He was right there.
So the Cats now trying to stop Mantino again. The Panthers have had no problems moving the football tonight. They've just had problems scoring.
Their passing attack is ferocious, man.
And for the most part, the coverage for the Cats has been really good.
Yeah,
they're just putting the ball. Herod's putting the ball on the money. Jankowski's made some nice receptions. 4th and 10 for Mantino from the Wilmington 18. Herod rolls right, looks downfield, fires into the end zone, and is it intercepted again? It is knocked away, incomplete. Incomplete in the end zone, and Wilmington will turn Mantino over on downs. Good coverage out there by Moore again, and the Cats will take over 1st and 10 from their own 17, almost the 18 there.
And it looked like there was a chance of completing that one too, but Billy Moore said, "Oh no, not at my watch."
He's been really good, really, really good at that corner spot over the last 2 or 3 years. He's been there a while, and not the biggest corner on the planet, but he can play that spot.
He's not very big, but he plays big.
All right, so the Cats starting up 1st and 10 from their own 18. Again, out of the double wing here. Kettman to one side and Couples to the other, I believe. Handoff comes right side. Big hole, and this is going to go for a touchdown across midfield. I believe that's Couples, or is it? Yeah, it is, into the end zone. Good grief. It is like impossible to see those jerseys, but into the end zone goes Wilmington on an 82-yard touchdown run. Nate Couples will cruise into the end zone, and when I say cruise into the end zone, there was nobody in that hole on the right side, and he didn't even have to make a move. He just went off the right side and was gone.
Wow. He took the first step through the secondary, where the linebackers usually are. He just took that step on and turned it on.
So the Cats will attempt the extra point here. Wilmington with a couple of long touchdown runs. They had a run from Schrager earlier in the first quarter, and now an 82-yard touchdown run from Nate Couples, and the extra point from Ostheim out of the hole to Finn Bryant, and that kick is good. So the Cats lead at 14-0, 6:32 to go opening quarter.
Right now we've run 3 plays. Wilmington, 162 yards.
We're going to talk about what that averages out to in a moment. We're back after this on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Breezer Construction Company is a proud supporter of Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network. For over 40 years, Breezer Construction Company has led the way in providing quality construction to the industrial, utility, and pipeline industries. For more information on Breezer Construction Company, go to breezerconstruction.com. That's breezerconstruction.com. Or call 815-521-0900. Warren's Collision Center is now at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. They accept all insurance companies, and as always, customer service is their top priority. Contact Warren's Collision at 815-458-3300, stop by online at warrenscollision.com, or visit in person at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. Warren's Collision Center is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair.
So Evan Ostheim kicks it off into the end zone. We'll come back out to the 20-yard line on the touchback, and Mantino will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20. We have played not even half of the first quarter, and we're close to half an hour into this game. So
yes, that's true.
You're looking at, what, 4 hours? That's could be a little rough before this one's all said and done.
Maybe some of his pizza will be left later on.
Right, we'll need the pizza before it's all said and done. By the way, the Cats, 3 carries, 162 yards for an average of 54 yards a carry.
Wow.
That's a pretty good average. 2 receivers to that far side. Now swing pass over to the near, and that is now blown dead, and I believe we have a false start on Mantino, so it'll back it up to 1st and 15. One thing about it, the passing game for the Panthers had been pretty good tonight, despite the fact that Wilmington has had fairly good coverage.
Yeah, they have 17 pass attempts with 7 or 8 completions.
All right, we'll split out to the far side is Jankowski.
8 for 17.
Who's been the main target here. Herod out of the shotgun with a back to his right. 1 receiver to either side. Herod hands it off. Fumble. Fumble on the play, and the Cats have it back near the 10-yard line. And Wilmington forces a turnover. Looked like, is that Kachuk that came out of there with it? Ball popped free, and Hunter right there to pick it up, and the Cats knocking on the door. 1st and 10. Actually, I guess it's just 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. Boy, that's definitely not what you want to do if you're Mantino, especially since you've been giving up. Well, I guess you can look at it this way, though. They're averaging 54 yards a carry. You can't possibly get that here.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
1st and goal from the Mantino 10. And we have a timeout to Mantino. Good grief. What else could happen in this first quarter that could delay it any more than it is? All right, we'll take a break. Back with more Cats football after this on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Wildcat Self-Storage is a facility providing clean, convenient, and well-maintained storage units. They provide great customer service with competitive rates. And they also have online bookings and payments for your convenience. Wildcat Self-Storage is at 131 School Street in Wilmington, online at wildcatsst.com, and by phone at 815-768-0681. Wildcat Self-Storage is proud to be locally owned. Riverfront Lanes in Wilmington is the place for fun with family and friends. They have leagues and open bowling along with all the extras like bumpers for the kids and cosmic bowling. Riverfront Lanes is your party headquarters too. Whether it's a birthday, company outing, or fundraiser, they can take care of you. Visit riverfrontlanes.com for hours and more information, or stop by at 402 South Water Street in Wilmington.
All right, so the Cats knocking on the door. First and goal from the 10-yard line. There is still 6:26 to go in the opening quarter of this game. In real time, this is approaching, I believe, 35 minutes, and we have played half of the first quarter. So it's taken us 35 minutes to play 6 minutes of game time.
Well, we got 26 minutes left in the first half of the first quarter.
Crazy. All right, so double wing, but everything split out. The tight end's way out this go-round. Moore under center and going to keep it himself. Billy Moore up the middle, inside the 5, dragging people, and he gets in for the touchdown. Somehow Billy Moore goes 10 yards and scores. That certainly did not seem like that was going to be the case. But Billy Moore scores, and it's 20-0 with 6:19 to go in the opening quarter. Wow. And that's part of the problem. Mantino's hanging onto the ball, passing, and a lot of incomplete passes, and then Wilmington is scoring so fast that no time is coming off the clock.
Boy.
So Ostheim on to attempt the extra point. Evan Kuipers with the snap, the hold by Finn Bryant, and the kick by Ostheim is good. And the Cats will lead it 21-0 with 6:19.
Well, you used up 7 seconds.
That's right. Hey, that's 7 seconds that is gone. So we'll take a break, come back with more Cats football again after this on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
The attorneys and staff at Odekirk and Rhodes are here to help during your most stressful legal situations, including criminal cases, divorce, custody, personal injury, and more. Odekirk and Rhodes will be with you every step of the way with aggressive representation that results in positive outcomes. Call 815-306-4864, visit online at odekirklaw.com, or stop by any one of their locations in Joliet, Mantino, Morris, or Wilmington today. Spins and Needles on Davie Lane is your local sewing shop in the Wilmington area. They specialize in sewing machine repairs and cleaning. Spins and Needles also has sewing supplies, quilt fabrics, sewing notions, and custom wind spinners. Stop by Spins and Needles at 614 Davie Lane in Wilmington from 10 to 4 Tuesday through Thursday and Friday and Saturday from 10 to 3. Or call 815-592-1183 for Spins and Needles.
So Evan Ostheim's kick comes down around the goal line and now out to the 23-yard line on the return. Looks like Briggs can on the recovery on the return for Mantino. So 1st and 10 for the Panthers here. It's been a really interesting first quarter, and we still have half of it to go. I mean, Mantino's got to have a decent amount of yardage.
Oh, yeah, they do.
And there's just no points to show for it.
They've got 4 yards in rushing.
Yeah, that doesn't help a whole lot. So trips receivers to the far side, one back to the near. Harrod will be out of the shotgun with a back to his right. 1st and 10 from the Mantino 24. It almost went over his head, and it's loose on the ground, and the Cats have it again. Picked up, another fumble recovery. This one picked up by Will Wilson, who will end up with the football off the fumble recovery. Wilson picks it up, and the Cats knocking on the door again at the 15-yard line of Mantino. Well,
I don't really think I've seen a game like this before.
The most bizarre first quarter ever. 21-0, 6:09 to go in the quarter, and Wilmington on the door again and could very well get 28 points in the first 6 minutes of the first quarter with a team that doesn't pass the ball ever, which is crazy.
Wow.
So
kind of boggles your mind.
I thought I've seen everything, and I haven't, because I have not seen this. Billy Moore up under center, Kettman to the near side, and again, Schrager in there at fullback. So Billy Moore going to keep it himself behind that offensive line, just shoves everything ahead and picks up 5 yards. So it'll be 2nd and 5 for the Cats at the 10-yard line or so of Mantino. So the clock finally running a little bit. 5:45 to go here in this opening quarter. The Cats have not had time to even take time off of the clock.
Yeah.
They've only run, I think, 6 offensive plays. Not much more than that, anyway.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plays.
5 plays. Okay, 5 plays and 21 points. That's interesting. So Billy Moore up under center here. Going to keep it himself again up the middle. Moore is going to go into the end zone. And yet again, Wilmington ends up with a touchdown. Billy Moore just got lost in the middle of everything and just cruised in. 27-0 is the lead for Wilmington. 5:15 to go in the opening quarter.
How many yards of that?
10-yard touchdown run for Billy Moore.
His first time he ran for a touchdown 10 yards.
Yeah, the last go-around. He had a 10-yard touchdown run the last set of downs off a fumble. Has another 10-yard touchdown run off of this fumble. Hold by Finn. The kick by Ostheim is good, and the Cats lead it 28-0 with 5:15 to go in the opening quarter. Well, they'll take another break and see what happens after this. This is Cats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
The Wilmington Chamber of Commerce at wilmingtonilchamber.org represents Wilmington businesses in many ways, including Employee of the Month, job postings, a full directory, event listings, ribbon cuttings, and more. They are also proud to announce their office location at 616 Davie Lane in Wilmington. WilmingtonILChamber.org is the source for all things business related in Wilmington. Quigley Technology Services is your local source for computer help. They have built numerous websites, including ours here at the Christian Internet Sports Network. Quigley Technology Services also specializes in virus removal, so your computer will get back to full speed now. And you can trust them for first-class computer repair, including free local pickup and delivery, plus on-site service, including after hours. Contact Quigley Technology Services at 815-293-7844 or stop by at quigtech.com. That's QUIG tech.com.
So the Cats to kick it off here. Ostheim's kick down to the 5. Returned across the 10, 15, and out near the 20 and to the 22 goes the return. And Mantino will start there 1st and 10. Again, Can on the return for the Panthers.
Can on the return
And
for the Panthers.
1st and 10 for Mantino. Now, the last couple of times, Mantino fumbled the football.
2-yard line.
I thought last go-round that Connor Herod had wrangled in the snap, but then I don't know if he tried to get rid of it too quick or what after that, and it came flying out of there. Will Wilson recovered that fumble. That followed the fumble that happened the play before that on Mantino's offensive end. And both of them quickly led to Wilmington touchdowns. So, trips receivers to the far side. One back over here to the near side again. And out of the shotgun is Herod. Takes the snap with it back to his right. Rolls around. Now looks left side. Now runs back toward his right. Chased in the background by, I think that's Van Dyne. Pass down the far sideline is incomplete. And overshot his intended receiver out of the 40-yard line. There are a couple of receivers out that way, but the Cats with pretty good coverage.
2nd down and
couple of defenders in that area. So to bring up 2nd and 10 for Mantino from their own 22-yard line.
Well, while we're looking at teams, Caleb Janczewski, he's caught 5 passes for around 70 yards.
That's a pretty good first quarter. 5 passes for 70 yards. Herod rolls right side, looks downfield, fires, caught out across the 25 to the 27. Now they're going to say incomplete. It's so incomplete on the far side. I guess it popped away at the last second, but we have ineligible downfield for Mantino, so that would have wiped it out anyway. So that ineligible player downfield is going to back them up 5 more yards. And it will go from 2nd and, well, maybe they just take the down. So it will make it 3rd and 10.
Brings up 3rd down for Mantino.
Boy, there's been so much in this first quarter. We've had penalties, long runs, passes. So 2 receivers to the far side, 2 back to the near. Out of the shotgun is Herod, and we have a penalty flag down as well as a timeout. Well, that's interesting.
They came up from the coaches up here calling out timeout, call timeout.
Well, there's a flag on the far side, but it looks like they just picked it up since maybe there was a timeout. I don't know.
Timeout, Wilmington.
We'll take a break and come back with more Cats football in a moment.
If you're looking for more information on Wilmington Wildcats football, then check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. Each week, Coach Reentz goes over game film, takes questions from the audience, and presents the Offensive and Defensive Player of the Week awards. Plus, you'll get to hang out with other Wildcat fans and get the inside scoop on next week's game. So be sure to check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's.
All right, well, in case you're joining us and you're like, wait a minute, it's 8 o'clock. That's got to be wrong. It can't be the first quarter. You would be very mistaken. It's still the first quarter. 5 minutes to go in the first quarter, as a matter of fact. Pass to the far side. Wow, it's a nice play. The pass completed, but nothing doing there as the Cats come up and drop them. That's Bueller, and I believe Billy Moore came up and made the stop and just cut his legs out from under him. And it will be a gain of a yard. That's a really good play from Billy Moore. Just came flying in and chopped it down. And 4th and 9 upcoming here for Mantino. So now Wilmington going to need to call another timeout. This is the most insane first quarter. The Cats have used 2 timeouts. Mantino has used a timeout. Wilmington has scored 4 touchdowns on 8 offensive plays, or maybe 9 offensive plays. Mantino has 2 turnovers, and we still have 4 minutes to go in the first quarter.
I've never seen anything like this in my life.
I haven't either. I mean, I've seen a lot of football. I've witnessed a lot of things. I don't think I've ever seen a first quarter quite as crazy as this one.
I think they've had 6 offensive plays.
6 offensive plays. Oh, it was 7 because it was 6 the last time. Then they had the touchdown. So 7 offensive plays.
Oh, wait a minute.
4 touchdowns.
Oh, who scored that last touchdown?
Well, see, now you're testing.
Yeah, we are missing one.
Testing my my memory skills here. Well, you have Billy Moore with a 10-yard touchdown run, right? Yeah, he had 2 10-yard touchdown runs, actually. So snap is back high, and the kick is a line drive. So Mantino finally gets the ball out of their own end, and it will roll dead at the Wilmington 47-yard line. And that's where the Cats will start 1st and 10.
Yeah, we have Billy down for 2 touchdowns.
I know Billy scored 2.
And Schrager scored
1, and Couples scored 1.
Couples, that long one.
Yep.
Oh,
so
boy.
That's your
82 yards.
82 yards. There you go.
46-yard line.
So that's your 4 scores. 28-0 is the lead for the Cats. And again, they've run almost no offensive plays to get 28 points. They're back at their own 46. And
That's the worst field position we've had outside the one that went 82 yards.
And that immediately went 82 yards. And the problem for Mantino is they really haven't been close to tackling anyone.
Not really.
So 1st and 10 for the Cats, far side hash mark. Again, up under center. Kettman to the near side. And handoff comes right side again. This finally upended out near midfield.
Who was that?
I believe it's Couples on the carry. Will pick up 3 yards. And when you go, what do you mean you believe it's Couples? Well, they're wearing the gray jerseys tonight. And the gray jerseys with purple numbers make it very, very difficult to tell who's out there. So Couples comes off, which probably means K-Chuck is out there at the moment on the far side. And we'll see that in a second. A gain of 3, 2nd down and 7 from the Wilmington 49. So again, more up under center. And a handoff right side. Big hole inside the 45, inside the 40, down to the 35, all the way down near the 33-yard line goes the run. A gain of 18 yards and a Wildcat self-storage 1st down. So Hunter K-Chuck carries the ball for 18 yards off that right side. And the Cats set up again in Mantino territory, 1st and 10 from the Panther 32-yard line. And I'll tell you this, almost every play in this half has happened on the far side hash mark.
The Panthers, 33-yard line.
Which is crazy, by the way. With these jerseys, not a single thing has happened on our side of the field. Well, the clock has finally started running. 2:30 to go in this 1st quarter in what has taken forever. We are rolling up on an hour for quarter number 1. And out of the double wing go the Cats here. Billy Moore under center. In motion, Kettman will get the handoff left side. Kettman breaks a tackle inside the 25, down near the 20-yard line before he's finally stopped by Gotkowski.
Kettman, the ball carrier.
And it will be a gain of 12 yards and a Wildcat self-storage 1st down. So Olin checks out here. Just coming over to get a drink and a quick breather, I do believe. He's been playing a lot tonight, and it has been warm.
It is warm, yes.
So 1st and 10 from the Mantino 21. Coach Reintz over talking to Oland and just going through a few things here. And handoff right side. K-Chuck will pick up a couple of yards. Pretty nice play there from Sean Chantome. Chantome will make the stop after a gain of 4. It'll bring up 2nd and 6 for the Cats.
2nd down and 6 to go for the Cats.
So Olin back out there as he rotates back in after coming out for a breather and just getting a drink of water. As Ryan Donovan checks out. 2nd and 6 for the Cats from the 16-yard line of Mantino. We're down under a minute to go in the 1st quarter.
First time Wilmington's ran a regular offensive pattern.
Again, out of the double wing, big splits too. Handoff left side. And I believe that's Kettman who is going to push ahead and pick up 8 yards, and that is enough for a Wildcat self-storage 1st down. It will be 1st and goal right at the 10-yard line of Mantino, and I think the Cats are good with changing ends here as long as they don't have to snap it again, and I don't think they should because there were 39 seconds on that clock. So that'll bring us to the end of quarter number 1. Cats lead at 28-0 over Mantino and knocking on the door again. We're back with quarter number 2 after this. This is Cats Football on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Teresa's Family Styling Salon in Wilmington is an all-ages salon that will style your hair for that special look. They offer cuts, perms, and coloring for any fashion. They also carry Paul Mitchell and Brocato products. Teresa's Family Styling Salon is located in the Southgate Plaza in Wilmington, and you can call for an appointment at 815-476-4600. 1955. That's 815-476-1955. Pro Real Estate is a family-owned business established in 1983. Its staff and sales agents work in all areas of real estate sales, from first-time homebuyers to experienced investors. Located at 506 South Water Street in Wilmington, clients are welcome to stop by to discuss their real estate needs or visit our website at pro-homes.net. For a private consultation, contact us at 815-476-7916.
Cats lead it 28-0 here over Mantino. And Wilmington will have it first and goal from the 10-yard line off the near side hash when we get back to action. Wilmington has had no problems moving the football tonight. This is the only sustained drive that they have had. Everything else has been very quick touchdown runs. They've also been the beneficiaries of 2 turnovers from Mantino deep in their own territory, in their own red zone, and that has set Wilmington up for success. And then also an interception in the end zone, so actually 3 turnovers in this first half. So Kachuk on the left side, Kettman on the right, Billy Moore under center. Pitch back to Kettman, cuts it back off the left, and he will cruise into the end zone for a touchdown. Ryan Kettman, no issues. Man, did that offensive line blow open a hole.
Wow.
Good grief.
Wow.
Cats lead it 34-0 with 11:56 to go in the opening half.
Is that 10 yards?
10-yard touchdown run, yes. So Evan Ostheim will come on to kick again. And clock stops running yet again.
Oh, yeah, we don't want the clock running.
So Ostheim will kick out of the hold of Finn Bryant. And the snap from Kuipers. The kick is good, and Wilmington leads it 35-0 with 11:56 to go in the opening half. Take a break. Come back with more Cats football after this on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Breezer Construction Company is a proud supporter of Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network. For over 40 years, Breezer Construction Company has led the way in providing quality construction to the industrial, utility, and pipeline industries. For more information on Breezer Construction Company, go to breezerconstruction.com. That's breezerconstruction.com. Or call 815-521-0900. Warren's Collision Center is now at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. They accept all insurance companies, and as always, customer service is their top priority. Contact Warren's Collision at 815-458-3300, stop by online at warrenscollision.com, or visit in person at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. Warren's Collision Center is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair.
So the Cats lead at 35-0. I will tell you this officiating crew is not in any hurry. At all.
Just wondering what's going on.
So Wilmington's been, both teams have been standing out there for a good 30 seconds, ready to go, and nothing. Now we finally get it blown into play.
That's happened a number of times tonight.
I think so. Anyway, Ostheim to kick off. It will come down to the 5. And now across the 15, 20. And Can will be tackled at the 21-yard line or so. Try to bounce it to the outside. I think that was Travis. Is that Travis Van Dyne out there? Yeah, close enough.
Close enough.
So 1st and 10 for Mantino. And these are the kind of games that get sort of rough because as many times as Mantino is throwing the football, every time it's incomplete, the clock doesn't run, and then the defense isn't even slowing down Wilmington. And you get this huge lopsided score, and there's not much you can really do about it.
7 touchdowns in 1 quarter, basically. The 7th one.
Well, now everything packed in for Mantino. We'll see what they do here. Pitch comes right side. That is not going to work. And that running back just met Mr. Oland in the backfield. That was not a good idea. Nicholas Honkus on the carry. And Mr. Zach Oland just said, you might want to rethink running that play.
Honkus on the carry.
A loss of a good 5 yards or so.
Oland in on the stop. Brings up 2nd down and 15 to
I
go.
mean, that play took a while, and not only did it take a while, just no one blocked anybody, and that's a really bad combination.
And if you're on their side, one guy you don't want to miss and run into out there is Owen.
Yeah, Oland, he can do some damage if you let him come through free. As we saw last week, there was a couple of huge hits in that game against Hersher. So one receiver to either side. Harrod out of the gun, takes the snap, going to hand it off again, and yet again, this play goes nowhere. Honkus on the carry, and he will lose, a couple more yards. It'll bring up 3rd and 17.
Honkus on the carry for Mantino brings up 3rd down.
And the Wilmington defense doing its job this go round. 3rd down and a 16-17 to go here.
You want to know how bad it is? They have run the ball 4 times for -1 yard.
So one receiver to either side out of the gun. Harrod fires far side, incomplete. Boy, good coverage out there again by Billy Moore. Pass was intended for Jankuski, and will bring up 4th down and 17 or so.
Billy Moore in on the coverage brings up 4th
Oh,
down.
what number is Jan Kuski?
He's number 5.
5.
Caleb Jankuski. All right, so the Cats already lead 35-0. There's 10 minutes to go in the half, and they're going to get this ball more than likely in Mantino territory yet again. And there's only so much you can do if you're Wilmington at this point. You got to keep playing. Kick is a line drive. This will come down at midfield, actually the 49 of Mantino, and Ketman's got a huge hole, and he might go to the end zone. I slips at the 20-yard line and falls to the ground, or he might have just gone into the end zone on that return. He returns at 30 yards and sets Wilmington up 1st and 10 in the red zone of Mantino.
1st and 10.
This is kind of like one of those perfect storm scenarios, kind of like Illinois found itself in last Saturday, where it's just nothing, just one thing after another.
Sometimes it goes that way.
Well, now the Cats, we'll see what they do here. Ketman is rotating out already. 10 minutes to go in the half. Kind of interesting. I think for the most part, everybody's still in there starter-wise for the Cats.
Yeah, coaches wanted to keep his guys healthy.
I think it's Dane Van Dyne. Dane Van Dyne will get a carry off the right side as he gets thrown backwards and will pick up 2 or 3 yards. Boy, Dane, by virtue of how good he's been in that second team, has earned some reps here early in this one as he will pick up a couple of yards, and the Cats will face 2nd down and 8.
2nd down and 8 to go for the Cats.
Well, good to see Dane get some carries with the first team here and reward him a little bit for how good he's been with that second unit.
Yeah, he's put out a lot of good effort. Nice to get rewarded.
So 2nd and 8 for the Cats down to the 16-yard line. So again, Wilmington knocking on the door. Billy Moore under center. I think this is Dane Van Dyne again as he will pick up decent chunk of yards on 2nd down. Picks up about 4 more, maybe 5. Bring up 3rd down and short. Call it 3rd and a short 4 here.
3rd down and 3 to go for the Cats. On the Panthers, 12-yard line.
So we'll say gain of 5 there. 3rd and 3 for Wilmington. 8:40 and counting here in this first quarter. Billy Moore will bring him up to the line. So I believe it's Van Dyne and Kachuk are the wingbacks here. Moore under center. Van Dyne going to get the handoff again, right side. Dane pushing ahead. I think he's got the first down. Boy, nice run from Dane off that right side. The offensive line moving some people as well. That is a gain of 6 for Dane Van Dyne and a Wildcat self-storage first down. Down to the 8-yard line of Mantino, and it's 1st and goal for the Cats.
1st and goal for the Cats.
Again, for Wilmington, the starting lineup in as far as line goes, but going with that second team unit at the wingback spot. I mean, Kachuk obviously has gotten first team carries.
Oh, yes.
So Dane really the only one in that second team group out there. 7:45 and counting. Billy Moore under center. Will hand it left side. This is Kachuk, and he has a huge hole inside the 5, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Wilmington.
Wildcat.
And just like that, the Cats score again. 41-0 is the lead for Wilmington. And somebody down for is that Will Wilson?
Hunter Kachuk.
Boy, that would be, yeah, I think he might be all right. Kachuk scores, and the Cats now lead at 41-0.
Is that about 6 yards?
Yeah, 6, yes. So there is still 7:35 to go in the opening half. Wilmington leads it 41-0, and quite frankly, if they leave their two starting running backs in, they probably score quicker on this drive too. So the Cats trying to, pump the brakes a little.
Yeah, they're letting some of their backups get a lot of good work.
All right, Ostime's kick is good again, and Wilmington leads it 42-0 with 7:35 to go in the opening half. Take a break. Back with more Cats football in a moment on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Wildcat Self-Storage is a facility providing clean, convenient, and well-maintained storage units. They provide great customer service with competitive rates, and they also have online bookings and payments for your convenience. Wildcat Self-Storage is at 131 School Street in Wilmington, online at wildcatsst.com, and by phone at 815-768-0681. Wildcat Self-Storage is proud to be locally owned. Riverfront Lanes in Wilmington is the place for fun with family and friends. They have leagues and open bowling along with all the extras like bumpers for the kids and cosmic bowling. Riverfront Lanes is your party headquarters too. Whether it's a birthday, company outing, or fundraiser, they can take care of you. Visit riverfrontlanes.com for hours and more information, or stop by at 402 South Water Street in Wilmington.
All right, so the Cats to kick it off right to left, and from what we understand, it will be a running clock, even though technically that should happen after the half. Both coaches just agreeing that, and rightfully so, that this thing should just start running. So again, for some reason, taking an extra 2 or 3 minutes to blow a kickoff into play, but I'm not really sure what's happening down there. So Ostime's kick will come down to the 5-yard line, taken there. 15 out to the 20, 25, 30, and that'll be about it. So the return there for the Panthers. Trying to see who came up. It's Can again. So again,
Can on the return for the Panthers.
he's gotten a lot of kickoff returns tonight.
Getting good practice, isn't it?
There's been plenty of special teams practice tonight, yes.
Mantino start 1st and 10 on their own.
All right,
30-yard line.
7 minutes to go in the half. The clock is running now, so They're just going to let this thing ride. We'll see what Mantino does. 1st and 10 from their own 30, far side hash. 2 receivers to the near side. Herod drops back, fires far side. That is complete out to the 35-yard line or so. Trying to see who it is over there. That is Gotkowski on the reception. He will pick up about 6 yards, and will set Mantino up with a 2nd and 4 from their own 36-yard line. Well, this is a string here for the Cats of 3 straight home games. They'll have Thornton next week. 2 receivers to the near side. Herod drops the snap and now just gets back on it at the 29. And as things continue to sputter for Mantino, that'll be a loss of 7 yards, and it'll give them 3rd and 11 for Mantino here. The Cats already cycling through people and have their second team defense out there. When was the last time you saw the second team defense on the field for the Cats with half the second quarter to go?
Yeah, you don't see that very often.
Yeah, this has just been one of those things, just crazy. Two receivers to the near side, one to the far. Herod out of the gun, rolls right side, looking downfield, still looking, fires, knocked away, incomplete. Boy, good coverage out there.
Is there 4?
Dane Van Dyne back there along with Bryson Mentz. It was intended for Jake Stevens, and it'll bring up 4th and 11 for Mantino. And the Panthers going to be forced to punt it away again.
Yeah, just keep that clock running. The Panthers will appreciate that.
All right, under 5 minutes to go in the half. Stevens to punt it here. And a good kick. Comes down to the Wilmington 37. A fair catch called for there. I believe that's Mentz on the fair catch. And it will set the Cats up 1st and 10 from their own 37 on that far side hash. So make sure to stick around for the halftime show, brought to you by Pro Real Estate at pro-homes.net. We'll look at your first half stats, a half dominated by Wilmington. We will take a check of the IHSA football scoreboard from Otakirk and Rhodes and get you set for the second half, too. The halftime show from Pro Real Estate at pro-homes.net will be coming up here in 4 minutes or so. So now the Cats rotating through some even more people. Nevels was set to go out there, but I don't know if they're going to leave him with that group or not. So Mentz will take some snaps here at quarterback. And again, the Cats shuffling through some people here. I believe is that Van Dyne again? And Dane will get a yard or 2 here. The Cats, again, just interested in using some clock and getting everybody to the locker room. 3:13 to go here in the half.
2nd down and 9 to go for the Cats.
Well, it started off, Mantino went straight down the field on their first possession, and it looked like, well, something's going to be happening here. They sputtered out at about the Wilmington 10. And they had another drive deep in Wilmington territory. But other than that, it has been completely dominated by Wilmington. Offensively for the Cats, they were just unstoppable for their first 5 or 6 drives. Pitch comes left side. Decent hold. That closes quickly out across the 40 to near the 42-yard line. And it looks like Finn Bryant will get the carry for the Cats. We'll set Wilmington up with 3rd down and 5 after a gain of 3, down to 2:15 to go here in this first half.
3rd down, 6 to go for the Cats.
So now Jay Nevels will rotate back in. Nevels will get Bryant here in that wingback spot. So Mentz in no hurry to get back out there. Let that clock run. 3rd down and 5 for the Cats from their own 42. Ball near the middle of the field in a game that has been decided for a while, and we're not even to the halfway mark. Pitch comes left side across the 40, 45, and that's going to be about it. Jay Neville's on the carry. He will pick up 3 yards, and will set up the Cats with 4th down and 2 from their own 45-yard line. And the Cats, it looks like, are going to get set to punt it away here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, 50-50. Get out your 50-50 tickets. The winning number is 96580-128.
Do you have the winning 50-50 ticket? I'm going to take that as a no. I said, do you have the winning 50-50 ticket? I'm going to take that as a no. So 40 seconds. Holman going to go back and punt this thing for the Cats. So Cooper Holman at the punt, and the Cats are just going to take a penalty here. And I think everybody's just going to go to the locker room, and that's probably the best case scenario here for both of these teams. Wilmington leads it 42-0 at the half over Mantino. Welcome into the halftime show, brought to you by Pro Real Estate at pro-homes.net. Take ourselves a timeout. We'll come back with your first half stats, and we'll have a full check of the IHSA football scoreboard from Odekirk and Rhodes. We'll get you set for the second half, too. This is the halftime show from Pro Real Estate at pro-homes.net. Back in a moment on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
The attorneys and staff at Odekirk and Rhodes are here to help during your most stressful legal situations, including criminal cases, divorce, custody, personal injury, and more. Odekirk and Rhodes will be with you every step of the way with aggressive representation that results in positive outcomes. Call 815-306-4864. Visit online at odekirklaw.com or stop by any one of their locations in Joliet, Mantino, Morris, or Wilmington today. Spins and Needles on Davie Lane is your local sewing shop in the Wilmington area. They specialize in sewing machine repairs and cleaning. Spins and Needles also has sewing supplies, quilt fabrics, sewing notions, and custom wind spinners. Stop by Spins and Needles at 614 Davie Lane in Wilmington from 10 to 4 Tuesday through Thursday and Friday and Saturday from 10 to 3. Or call 815-592-1183 for Spins and Needles. The Wilmington Chamber of Commerce at wilmingtonilchamber.org represents Wilmington businesses in many ways, including Employee of the Month, job postings, a full directory, event listings, ribbon cuttings, and more. They are also proud to announce their office location at 616 Davie Lane in Wilmington. WilmingtonILChamber.org is the source for all things business related in Wilmington. Quigley Technology Services is your local source for computer help. They have built numerous websites, including ours, here at the Christian Internet Sports Network. Quigley Technology Services also specializes in virus removal, so your computer will get back to full speed now. And you can trust them for first-class computer repair, including free local pickup and delivery, plus on-site service, including after hours. Contact Quigley Technology Services at 815-293-7844 or stop by at quigtech.com. That's QUIG-tech.com. If you're looking for more information on Wilmington Wildcats football, then check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. Each week, Coach Reentz goes over game film, takes questions from the audience, and presents the Offensive and Defensive Player of the Week awards. Plus, you'll get to hang out with other Wildcat fans and get the inside scoop on next week's game. So be sure to check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's.
Well, this game quickly got out of control for Mantino after their first drive of the game. The Panthers went straight down the field, were knocking on the door, and Wilmington held them out of the end zone. They managed to get down there one more time, but other than that, the Wildcat offense racked up a ton of yards, 4 touchdowns on 7 plays in the first half. And then the Wilmington defense started to really clamp down after the first couple of drives of the game as well. And Wilmington leads Mantino 42-0 here at the half. Halftime show brought to you by Pro Real Estate at pro-homes.net and also at 815-476-7916. Big thank you to Pro Real Estate for sponsoring each and every halftime show throughout this particular season and for the last number of seasons as well. As we try to figure up your final stat totals for that first half. And, you know, for a lot of games this year, this is about the time that the games are ending after 4 quarters. And we're just now getting the halftime. And it's very fortunate that both coaches agreed to run that clock in the second quarter. Definitely would still be playing, especially with the way Mantino's been throwing the football and a lot of incomplete passes as well. So band out on the field at the moment for their halftime performance. We already saw the homecoming king and queen and homecoming court and all that good stuff before this game actually started tonight. And again, huge crowd when this game kicked off. And, of course, some people will start to head for the exit, and particularly after this halftime is done, as well as the clock will just continue to run when we get this second half underway as well. Wilmington leads Mantino 42-0 here at the half. Another couple of touchdown runs from Billy Moore, a pair of 10-yard touchdown runs from Billy Moore. We had Nate Couples, an 82-yard touchdown run. And the Cats just managed to try a lot of things, and pretty much everything worked immediately for Wilmington that first half. K-Chuck with a touchdown as well, as the Cats lead it 42-0. All right, take a quick timeout, come back with your first half stats, and then we'll have a full check of the IHSA football scoreboard from Otakirk and Rhodes. Quick timeout here. Back in just a moment.
Teresa's Family Styling Salon in Wilmington is an all-ages salon that will style your hair for that special look. They offer cuts, perms, and coloring for any fashion. They also carry Paul Mitchell and Brocato products. Teresa's Family Styling Salon is located in the Southgate Plaza in Wilmington, and you can call for an appointment at 815-476-1955. That's 815-476-1955.
This is the halftime show brought to you by Pro Real Estate at pro-homes.net and also at 815-476-7916. Cats lead Mantino 42-0 here at the half. Your first half stats, first off, for the Mantino Panthers rushing the football, Connor Herod, 1 carry for, I believe that's negative 11 yards. Nick Honkus had 4 carries, actually negative 7 yards for Connor Herod, negative 7 yards. Nick Honkus had 4 carries for 6 yards in that first half. So, actually 5 carries for 6 yards. Mantino was 6 rushing attempts and at -1 on the first half rushing yardage for Mantino. Through the air, Connor Herod was 10 of 27 for 92 yards and an interception. Tyler Bueller, 3 receptions for 15 yards. Nick Honkus, 1 reception for -1 yard. Jason Godkowski, 1 reception for 6 yards. And Caleb Jankuski had 5 receptions for 65 first half yards. Oh, I guess that was 82 yards passing. 10 of 27 for 82 yards for Connor Herod. And then -1 yard rushing, and Mantino with 81 yards of offense in the first half. They also had 2 fumbles in their own red zone. That didn't help their cause either. For the Cats rushing the football, Billy Moore, 3 rushing attempts, 25 yards and 2 touchdowns. Ryan Kettman, 4 carries, 45 yards and a touchdown. Finn Bryant, 1 rush for 3 yards. Dane Van Dyne, 3 carries for 12 yards. Nate Couples, 2 carries for 88 yards and a touchdown. Hunter Kachuk, 3 carries for 28 yards and a touchdown. And Ryan Schrager, that was the other touchdown. The fullback, a 69-yard touchdown run, his only carry. And just like that, Wilmington rushed the ball 18 times, 238 yards, and 6 touchdowns in that first half. They outgained Mantino 238-81, and at the half, Wilmington leads at 42-0. And yes, it was that lopsided. It was very lopsided in the first half. In fact, so much so that with 7 minutes to go in the first half, they agreed to run the clock.
And they pulled the starters, too, in the first half.
Sure did. All right. We'll take ourselves a timeout. Again, a quick timeout, like 1 minute. We'll come back with a full check of the IHSA football scoreboard from Odekirk and Rhodes. This is the halftime show from Pro Real Estate at pro-homes.net and also at 815-476-7916. Back after this.
Pro Real Estate is a family-owned business established in 1983. Its staff and sales agents work in all areas of real estate sales, from first-time homebuyers to experienced investors. Located at 506 South Water Street in Wilmington, clients are welcome to stop by to discuss their real estate needs or visit our website at pro-homes.net. For a private consultation, contact us at 815-476-7916. Breezer Construction Company is a proud supporter of Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network. For over 40 years, Breezer Construction Company has led the way in providing quality construction to the industrial, utility, and pipeline industries. For more information on Breezer Construction Company, go to breezerconstruction.com. That's breezerconstruction.com. Or call 815-521-0900.
All right, back here on the Christian Internet Sports Network as the Cats lead Mantino 42-0. Do appreciate, by the way, a bunch of messages that came through on the email link, and we do appreciate it. And pretty much everyone saying that things sounded fine. Cheryl, thank you for your message, and Kurt saying can only hear us as well. Ben and Lexi Southall, big shout out to them. 7 Southall family members listening from Napa Valley as well, and we appreciate them checking in, and Michelle as well. Thank you for what you have going on, and again, I apologize for our end of things, but for us to be able to add our broadcast to the video stream, if I have all that stuff coming back in my headset, which I can't do anything to get rid of, right, it makes it very, very difficult for us to concentrate on what we're doing when I keep hearing stuff going on in the background. So I'm glad that it was sounded fine at home through the video stream. I know on our audio stream on the website, we were getting the repeat. So maybe it was only through our particular thing that's going on. And if that's the case, it's good to know, and we'll see what we can do to try to fix that. But unfortunately, that's not something necessarily on our end. That's something between the video stream and us, and we are not in charge of the video stream. So that's just kind of where it is. But we do appreciate everybody for checking in. All right, first half goes to Wilmington, 42-0. A full check of the IHSA football scoreboard brought to you by Odekirk and Rhodes. Illinois Central 8 football scores. Coal City leads Reed Custer 35-0 at the half, so Coal City no issues. Piatone, already a final, defeated Streeter 42-7. Oh, they started at 6. I guess that explains that. And Piatone a 42-7 winner over Streeter. In 2A, Maroa Forsyth 36-0 over Riverton at the half. Rockridge 7-6 over Newman Central Catholic. That is also at the half. Farmington a 33-8 lead over Knoxville in the first quarter. Seneca 29, Dwight 11. That game in the third quarter. Boy, that's a big one between Seneca and Dwight. But so far, Seneca, no issues there. Westville 35, Oakwood 14 in the third. Johnston City 24-14 over Flora. That's in the third. El Paso Gridley 21-14 over Tri-Valley. That game is at the half. And Bishop McNamara tied with Aurora Christian at 21. That game also at the half. In 3A, Byron. Well, you know, sometimes there's close games and sometimes they're not. This is not. Byron leads Winnebago 48-0 at the half. Marist 14, IC Catholic 12. That game in the second. Altoff 22-15 over Mount Vernon in the third. Bloomington Central Catholic 20-7 over Monticello at the half. Williamsville 36, Olympia 14. That game in the third quarter. Richmond Burton 42, Woodstock 7. That's in the third. Tolono Unity 33-0 over Pontiac. That game at the half. All right, other games. Andrew, a final 52-0 over Hammond Central. It's Elgin 35, Aurora East nothing. That's in the third. Batavia 35-21 over St. Charles North in the third. Mount Carmel from Chicago 28-0 over Bennett in the second. It's Bolingbrook 14, Oswego 7 in the second. Bradley Bourbonnais 21-0 over Stagg. That game in the first quarter. Bremen 15, Thornton Fractional North 14. That's in the fourth quarter. Brother Rice 29-0 over St. Patrick in the second. Marion Central Catholic 13-0 over Chicago Christian in the second. Crete Moni 44-0 over Danville at the half. Downers Grove North 35-0 over Proviso West. That's in the second quarter. South Elgin 21, West Chicago 6. That game in the second. Wheaton Warrenville South 28-14 over Glenbard North at the half. Wheaton North and St. Charles East tied at 14 at the half. St. Rita 23-6 over Niles Notre Dame. That's in the second quarter. Richards 13, Shepherd nothing in the second. It's Marengo 7, Plano nothing in the first quarter. Plainfield South 20-7 over Plainfield East at the half. Sycamore 21, Ottawa Township 7. That's at the half. Yorkville 9, Oswego nothing. That game in the fourth quarter. A pair of 4-0 teams and a 9-0 lead for Yorkville in the fourth quarter. Oak Forest 43-7 over Tinley Park. That is a final. Morris, no problems with Canelan. This is at the half of a 4-0 matchup. Morris leads 21-0. Montini 33-0 over Marmion. That's at the half. Plainfield North and Minooka are tied at 14 in the third quarter. Mateo Valley and Neuqua Valley tied at 14. That's in the second. Loyola 42-7 over DePaul in the third quarter. Naperville North 28, Lockport 22. That's at the half. Lincoln Way West 17, Wabansie Valley 14 at the half. Lincoln Way East 30-0 over Naperville Central at the half. Lincoln Way Central 38, DeKalb 7. That's in the second quarter. Rochelle 21-0 over LaSalle Peru in the third. Joliet West 27-0 over Romeoville. Boy, Joliet West 1-3, beating 3-1 Romeoville 27-0. Kankakee no issues with Thornwood. 31-0 is the final there. Plainfield Central 28, Joliet Central 2. That game in the third quarter. Naz leads Joliet Catholic 35-7 in the second quarter. Sandburg 7, Homewood Flossmoor nothing. That's in the first. And I believe that gets us caught up. Now, back to the ice. Coal City 35-0 over Reed Custer at the half. Piatone wins over Streeter 42-7. That's the final. And Herscher gets a forfeit win tonight over what would have been Lyle, and that would move Herscher to 3-2. All right, we'll have another full check of the IHSA football scoreboard brought to you by Odekirk and Rhodes in the postgame show. And this has been the halftime show brought to you by Pro Real Estate at pro-homes.net and also at 815-476-7916. Back with the start of your third quarter in a moment on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Warren's Collision Center is now at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. They accept all insurance companies, and as always, customer service is their top priority. Contact Warren's Collision at 815-458-3300, stop by online at warrenscollision.com, or visit in person at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. Warren's Collision Center is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Lawrence Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair. Wildcat Self-Storage is a facility providing clean, convenient, and well-maintained storage units. They provide great customer service with competitive rates, and they also have online bookings and payments for your convenience. Wildcat Self-Storage is at 131 School Street in Wilmington, online at wildcatsst.com, and by phone at 815-768-0681. Wildcat Self-Storage is proud to be locally owned.
All right, so the Cats will get set to return here. I believe that's Finn Bryant along with Jay Nevels back deep for the Cats, as Mantino will kick off right to left, and we'll get this third quarter underway. And, okay. That was the oddest kickoff of all time. That will go out of bounds at the 20. They went to kick. There was a whistle. They were halfway to kick it. And ref just said, go ahead and kick it anyway. And they did and kicked it out of bounds. So it's just an odd night at any point. So Wilmington will start 1st and 10. Again, they have been into this second team and sometimes third team offense, and they were there about halfway through the second quarter. So this second unit tonight will get more minutes than the starters will. And they need to move the ball out here a little bit, so they'll put it out to the 35-yard line.
All right.
And Cats will have it 1st and 10. All right, so everything packed in here. I believe that's men still out there under center. And the pitch comes right side, and a huge hole out across midfield down to the 48-yard line, as Dane Van Dyne will pick up 16 yards. Actually, well, we'll see where they put the ball, because who knows? This could be, they're going to put it back to midfield. Okay, fine. Gain of 15 yards and a Wildcat Self-Storage first down.
1st and 10 for the Cats on the 50-yard line.
It's one of those nights where you just kind of wait and see what happens.
Well, Dane that time got more yards than he got the whole first half. He had 12 yards the first half, 15 yards right there.
All right, so the Cats come up to the ball after a 15-yard run, picks them up a first down. 1st and 10 for Wilmington from midfield. Working left to right, again off the right side. This is Van Dyne, and he'll be close to another first down. Picks up a good 9 yards. And it will set the Cats up with 2nd and a yard from the 41-yard line of Mantino. Again, the Cats churning up some yardage here to start the second half.
24 yards by Mr. Van Dyne. He's not the only Van Dyne on the team, though.
So 2nd down and a yard from the Mantino 41. Again, everything packed in again. Nevels, I believe, to one side and Van Dyne to the other. I think this is Van Dyne off the right side, inside the 35, still going. Carries a defender all the way down near the 32-yard line. A gain of 9 yards and a Wildcat Self-Storage first down.
10 for the Cats on the Panthers 32-yard line.
The Cats again. So 2nd down and 7 for Wilmington here. Pitch comes right side, another big hole inside the 20 down near the 18-yard line as Dane Van Dyne picks up 10 more yards and a Wildcat Self-Storage first down. Again, into Mantino red zone territory down to the 19-yard line. And Wilmington not doing anything fancy here, just the basic plays either way, and Mantino having some trouble stopping it. So Mentz will head back out there. Under 8 minutes to go in this third quarter. Wilmington a 42-0 lead. And knocking on the door again. So Van Dyne to the far side. Neville's back to the near. I believe that's Travis Van Dyne. A fullback pitch comes left side. This is Neville's. Bounces it around the edge. Inside the 15, 10, 5. And he'll get slung out of bounds somewhere inside the 5-yard line. Depends on where they mark him. It looks like around the 4.
That's enough for another first down.
A gain of 15 yards and a Wildcat self-storage first down.
What a nice job of running the Neville's did that time. He tried to go inside. It wasn't there. He bounced off of that. Took it around the left-hand side. Fantastic job.
Yep, stretched it out a little bit and ends up inside the 5. And now the Cats on the doorstep. First and goal at the 4-yard line. Ments back up under center. We'll see who they go to here on first and goal. Van Dyne off the right side, follows his blockers, looks for the goal line, and is he in? He is. Touchdown, Wilmington. Touchdown! A 4-yard touchdown run, and the Cats lead it 48-0 with 6:31 to go in the third quarter. Good carry there.
Wildcat touchdown.
Boy.
So the Cats to attempt the extra point here as Travis Van Dyne runs on late, but should be okay. And extra point upcoming here. The kick is good, and I believe that is Eden Davis attempting the extra point. So Davis will put it through, and the Cats lead it 49-0. We'll take a break, come back with more Cats football after this on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Riverfront Lanes in Wilmington is the place for fun with family and friends. They have leagues and open bowling, along with all the extras, like bumpers for the kids and cosmic bowling. Riverfront Lanes is your party headquarters, too. Whether it's a birthday, company outing, or fundraiser, they can take care of you. Visit riverfrontlanes.com for hours and more information, or stop by at 402 South Water Street in Wilmington. The attorneys and staff at Odekirk & Rhodes are here to help during your most stressful legal situations, including criminal cases, divorce, custody, personal injury, and more. Odekirk & Rhodes will be with you every step of the way with aggressive representation that results in positive outcomes. Call 815-306-4864, visit online at odekirklaw.com, or stop by any one of their locations in Joliet, Mantino, Morris, or Wilmington today.
So the Cats lead it 49-0 as the clock runs, approaching 4:20 to go here in this third quarter. It is run through just about everything, and I think both teams are completely fine with that.
Mr. Van Vine had 47 yards in that drive.
So this kick picked up across the 30, out near the 35. On the return goes, I think that's Landon Vila for Mantino, and it will set the Panthers up with halfway decent field position. Again, clock running, 3:45 and counting in this third quarter in a game that was done at about the end of the first quarter. It's about where it was.
You could probably use that as an estimate. You know, we've used up 3 minutes and 25 seconds in the third quarter. Think how long it took us to do that in the first quarter.
Oh, my goodness. That first quarter, you're talking about an hour of actual time that it took to play one quarter of football. All right, so let's see what Mantino does here as Connor Harrod staying at that QB spot. One receiver to either side. First and 10 for Mantino from their own 34. Handoff up the middle across the 35 to near the 37. Good job by that interior of the Wildcat defense. As Brady Anders on the carry for Mantino. He'll pick up 3, maybe 4 yards. It'll bring up second down and 6.
Brings up second down and 6 to go for Mantino.
Again, I can respect what Mantino's doing here as well. You know, get some people in the game, do what you need to do, be healthy going into the next week, because when you're the Panthers, I mean, yes, this score is what it is, and it puts you at 3-2 on the year, but you still have a lot of opportunity to get in the playoffs. And you don't want anything crazy to happen in a game that's already been decided. One receiver to either side. Pitch goes to the outside, across the 40, out near the 42-yard line. Goes that run for Mantino. That's Anders again on the carry, and he'll pick up about 4 more. Third down and 2 for Mantino. The Cats continue to shuttle people in and off.
Stop made by Colin Van Dyne. Brings up third down, Mantino.
So 3rd and a couple here for the Panthers. From their own 42. Again, one receiver to either side. And a handoff to Anders again off that right side. He's going to get the first down, I think. Picked up about 3 yards before he's tripped up. And we'll give Mantino a 1st and 10 out near the 45-yard line as clock continues to roll, down to 1 minute to go in this third quarter.
1st and 10 for the Panthers.
Brady Anders, a 5'10", 148-pound junior, getting a lot of the carries here in this third quarter. Again from the 45-yard line. Connor Herod will take the snap, hands it off left side. That's going to go nowhere. Anders is wrapped up immediately for a loss. The Cats all over that. Trying to see who came up there for the Cat. I believe that's Travis Van Dyne for Wilmington. Bring up second down and 13 after a loss of 3. That'll bring us to the end of the third quarter. Cats lead it 49-0 over Mantino. We'll come back with their fourth quarter after this on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Spins and Needles on Davie Lane is your local sewing shop in the Wilmington area. They specialize in sewing machine repairs and cleaning. Spins and Needles also has sewing supplies, quilt fabrics, sewing notions, and custom wind spinners. Stop by Spins and Needles at 614 Davie Lane in Wilmington from 10 to 4 Tuesday through Thursday and Friday and Saturday from 10 to 3. Or call 815-592-1183 for Spins and Needles. The Wilmington Chamber of Commerce at wilmingtonilchamber.org represents Wilmington businesses in many ways, including Employee of the Month, job postings, a full directory, event listings, ribbon cuttings, and more. They are also proud to announce their office location at 616 Davie Lane in Wilmington. WilmingtonILChamber.org is the source for all things business related in Wilmington.
So 49-0 is the lead for Wilmington. Herod on 2nd and 13 pitches the ball right side, and that gets blown up. So Anders with a loss on that carry. Guess who made the stop again? Travis Van Dyne on the stop for the Cats. So Anders a loss of 3 more. Van Dyne makes the stop, and now Wilmington shuttling on more people. 3rd down and 16. Back to the Mantino 39, and clock rolling 11:30 and counting, and both of these teams are more than willing to be done with this one. So Herod out of the gun. Again, one receiver to either side. Will take the snap, trying to pass for a first down here. Fires it deep down the sideline. That is knocked away incomplete. Boy, good coverage out there. Cats are going to force a 4th down.
Pass is incomplete. Broken up by the Cats.
Trying to see
Brings up 4th down
who that was.
for the Panthers.
So hard to see those jerseys. I believe it's L.J. Friddle who ended up breaking up that last pass. Finally got him to turn around enough that I could see that jersey. Good coverage out there from Friddle. 4th down and close to 17, and Mantino going to get set to punt it away here. And snapping a line drive. I mean, that's a line drive. Gets a roll all the way inside the 30. Going to roll dead at the Wilmington 27-yard line or so. That's where the Cats will come back out for one more drive. So Dane Van Dyne will head back out there. He's gotten a lot of work tonight.
1st and 10 from their own 26-yard line.
Now, Dane's been busy. In the second half, he's had 5 carries. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 5 carries for about 47 yards or something, I estimate.
Cements will head back out there again. 1st and 10 for the Cats from their own 27-yard line.
Let's see, look at this.
So back under center. Hey, look, it's the far side hash mark where like 90% of the plays are run in this stadium, it seems like. Handoff goes right side. And that's stacked up after a gain of a couple. Trying to see who it was. Gain of 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down and 7 from the Wilmington 30-yard line. Again on that far side hash. Down to 8:30 to go.
It's credited with Dane.
I don't know who that is off the near side. I don't.
Couple.
Could be. Yeah, I think you're right. Van Dyne off the right side again. And he will pick up a gain of about 5 yards and will set up the Cats with 3rd and short, 3rd and 1, down to 8 minutes to go in this 4th quarter as Dane Van Dyne continues to get some more carries here tonight.
3rd down for the Cats.
The Cats again out of the double wing. I think that's Van Dyne again as he gets across the 40 and will get out near the 45. A gain of about 6, maybe 7 more, depending on where they spot this thing. And it's enough for a Wildcat self-storage 1st down. So 1st and 10 for the Cats, under 7 minutes to go. Another touchdown or 2, and Wilmington will get out of here with this win. So the Cats with 3 home games in a row. You got Thornton, then Streeter on the road to Reed Custer, and then you have that Week 9 matchup with Coal City, which everybody looking forward to here. Fullback. So it looks like Travis Van Dyne on the carry for the Cats. And bring up 2nd down and 5 from the Wilmington 49. I mean, Wilmington probably going to be heavy favorites in every single game until that Coal City game, despite Thornton being like 1,600 students or something there. Again, fullback dive for the Cats across midfield down to the 49 or so. A gain of a couple there. We'll set up third down and short. So bring up third down and 3 for Wilmington, down to the 49-yard line of Mantino, 4:55 and counting here.
Chopping that clock off this half. Both of these teams will be very, very happy to do that.
Yeah, just get it done and move on. So Mentz up under center. And again, I believe this is Van Dyne across the 45. Gonna bring some people with them down near the 43-yard line. Be a gain of 6 yards and a Wildcat self-storage first down. So the Cats just continuing to pack on the yardage.
Dane Van Dyne.
And
I thought it was Travis.
Nope, Dane Van Dyne, 16. Travis is number 5. There are a few Van Dynes, though. There's like 4 or something on this roster. Okay, make sure to stick around for the post-game show, brought to you by Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair over there in Braidwood. Big thank you to Warren. And your final scoring totals, stats. Full check of the IHSA football scoreboard from Odekirk and Rhodes. And we'll talk to Coach Reitz as well on the post-game show from Warren's Collision Center in Braidwood. So the Cats just going to take a knee here and just run down this clock. So again, 3 home games in a row for Wilmington. Thornton next week. Roughly a 6:45 start time there. Then Streeter in 2 weeks. Cats go on the road for their last regular season road game in week 8 against Reed Custer, right down the street. And then finish out at home with Coal City in week 9. So another knee or two here for the Cats. Well, there's a penalty on Wilmington. Somebody moved early for the Cats. They will back it up, and it goes from 2nd 11 to 2nd and 16.
They don't lose down then, so they can redo it again.
Well, that's just it. I mean, the clock's running. It's a way to make sure you can.
That's what they're trying to get the whole thing run down.
Get this thing done, and I think you're about to the point where just taking the knees is going to do it here anyway. It's 2nd down, got a 40-second play clock, and you're at 2 minutes. So I think it's pretty well over and done here. Well, and the refs in this situation are going to give you a little bit extra leeway too, because they know what's happening. So Bentz with another knee.
Be sure to take your blankets, chairs, and everything you brought with you tonight. Please do not leave.
Well, this was a game where, again, the first drive for Mantino looked very promising. They went straight down the field, just didn't score, got all the way to the 10. Second drive also looked pretty promising, but then after that, not much doing offensively for Mantino, and Wilmington just kept scoring in that first quarter. All right, so 3rd down and 17, but none of this really matters. It's just going to be another knee for Mentz. So he takes a knee there. And all they got to do is snap it when it gets down under 40 seconds. And this game will be over. And again, everybody just happy to be out of this healthy, move to the next week, and just keep the season rolling along. So we're down to 40 seconds on that game clock, so all the Cats have to do is take a knee. This game will be over, and we can move on to something else. I mean, it's technically fourth down, but with the clock not stopping anyway, no matter what happens here, Mantino will not be able to snap the ball again anyway. Matter of fact, Cats are just going to take a penalty, and I guess they're saying to stop the clock, but I don't know why you would, because they're trying to actually run out the clock, and there we go. So the final is Wilmington 49 and Mantino nothing, as the Cats will move to 4-1 on the year. Mantino will drop to 3-2. Welcome into the postgame show, brought to you by Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair over there in Braidwood. Big thank you to Warren's. Take a break. We'll come back with the postgame show in just a moment on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
The Wilmington Chamber of Commerce at wilmingtonilchamber.org represents Wilmington Business Employee of the Month, job postings, a full directory, event listings, ribbon cuttings, and more. They are also proud to announce their office location at 616 Davie Lane in Wilmington. WilmingtonILChamber.org is the source for all things business related in Wilmington. Quigley Technology Services is your local source for computer help. They have built numerous websites, including ours here at the Christian Internet Sports Network. Quigley Technology Services also specializes in virus removal, so your computer will get back to full speed now. And you can trust them for first-class computer repair, including free local pickup and delivery, plus on-site service, including after hours. Contact Quigley Technology Services at 815-293-7844 or stop by at quigtech.com. That's QUIG tech.com. If you're looking for more information on Wilmington Wildcats football, then check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. Each week, Coach Reentz goes over game film, takes questions from the audience, and presents the Offensive and Defensive Player of the Week awards. Plus, you'll get to hang out with other Wildcat fans and get the inside scoop on next week's game. So be sure to check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. Teresa's Family Styling Salon in Wilmington is an all-ages salon that will style your hair for that special look. They offer cuts, perms, and coloring for any fashion. They also carry Paul Mitchell and Brocato products. Teresa's Family Styling Salon is located in the Southgate Plaza in Wilmington, and you can call for an appointment at 815-476-1955. That's 815-476-1955. Pro Real Estate is a family-owned business established in 1983. Its staff and sales agents work in all areas of real estate sales, from first-time homebuyers to experienced investors. Located at 506 South Water Street in Wilmington, clients are welcome to stop by to discuss their real estate needs or visit our website at pro-homes.net. For a private consultation, contact us at 815-476-7916.
Welcome into the postgame show, brought to you by Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair, at 815-458-3300 over there in Braidwood. Thank you again to Warren's. Wilmington wins it 49-0 over Mantino in a game that was decided by the end of the first quarter, and then a running clock midway through the second quarter, and then there's a lot of different things that happened tonight. First quarter went the better part of an hour. And before you know it, things had kind of gotten out of control on the scoreboard, and both teams just trying to get out of here and do so in as healthy a manner as they can possibly be. Again, postgame show brought to you by Warren's Collision Center over there in Braidwood. We'll talk to Coach Reentz here in just a minute, give you a full look of our final stats tonight, and we'll have one more check of the IHSA football scoreboard, brought to you by Odekirk and Rhodes. get to all that here momentarily. Again, Wilmington home next week with a much bigger opponent in Thornton, but an opponent that the Cats are looking at, and I think favorably on the Wilmington side. But whenever you go up against a school that big, you just never really know what's going to happen there. But you get Thornton next week and Streeter the week after that, and then Reed-Custer the week after that, and you really have to like the way that the Wilmington schedule looks running up to week 9 against Coal City. That's the next big one that everybody's looking for, but you never want to go too far ahead there. Just 1 week at a time and take care of business, and before you know it, it'll be that Coal City game, and of course everything that goes along with that particular rivalry. All right, let's go ahead and have one more check of the IHSA football scoreboard. Brought to you by Odekirk and Rhodes. Big thank you to them for sponsoring each and every scoreboard here tonight. From the Illinois Central 8, Coal City 49-7 over Reed-Custer. That game in the fourth quarter. Piatone 42-7 over Streeter. That is a final as the Blue Devils blow out Streeter tonight. And Herscher picks up a forfeit win since Lyle was on their schedule. They did not play them. In 2A, Maroa Forsyth 56-0 over Riverton. That's a final. Rockridge 7-6 over Newman Central Catholic at the half. Farmington 46, Knoxville 23 in the third. Seneca 43-17 over Dwight tonight. So Seneca rolling there. That game in the fourth quarter. Westville 56, Oakwood 21 in the fourth. Also in the fourth, Johnston City 38-20 over Flora. And El Paso Gridley 24-21 over Tri-Valley. Boy, what a game there in the fourth quarter. El Paso at 4-0 and Tri-Valley at 3-1. Bishop McNamara 38-28 over Aurora Christian. That game in the third quarter. A couple of really good teams there as well. And Bishop Mac with a 10-point lead. In 3A, Byron 55-7 over Winnebago. That is a final. IC Catholic 19-14 over Marist at the half. It is Mount Vernon 29, Althoff 28 in the fourth quarter. Bloomington Central Catholic 20. Moni 51-0 over Danville. That's a final. Another final. Downers Grove North 49-0 over Proviso West. Let's see here. Harvard is that right? Harvard 49-0 over Sandwich at the half. That seems crazy, but I guess that's right. St. Francis 28-14 over Providence. That's at the half. Marengo 7, Plano 0 in the first quarter. Plainfield South 27-14 over Plainfield East in the third. Sycamore 21, Ottawa Township 7. That game's at the half. Yorkville 16-6 over Oswego in the fourth. A pair of 4-0 teams there going down to the wire. A final, Oak Forest 43-7 over Tinley Park. Morris 35-7 over Keeneland. That game in the third quarter, a pair of 4-0 teams, and Morris with no problems at all tonight. Montini 40-0 over Marmion. That's in the third. Also in the third, Plainfield North and Manuka are tied at 14. Neuqua Valley and Mateo Valley tied at 14 at the half. Loyola defeats DePaul tonight 42-14. That is a final. Naperville North 28-22 over Lockport at the half. Lincoln Way West 17-14 over Wabanzi Valley. That's at the half. Lincoln Way East continues to roll 44-0 over Naperville Central in the third. Lincoln Way Central 45-17 over DeKalb in the third quarter. Rochelle 21-0 over LaSalle Peru tonight. A final, Kankakee 31-0 over Thornwood. Another final, Plainfield Central 35, Joliet Central 10. Joliet West leads Romeoville 27-0 in the second quarter. Naz leads Joliet Catholic 41-7 at the half. And back to the ice. Coal City 49-7 over Reed-Custer in the fourth quarter. Piatone beats Streeter 42-7, and Herscher picks up a forfeit win here tonight. That is a full check of the IHSA football scoreboard brought to you by Odekirk and Rhodes. Everything that we kind of have there for you. And let's move on to your final stat totals tonight. For Mantino rushing the football, Connor Harrod 1 carry for -7 yards. Nick Honkus 4 carries for -3 yards. And Brady Anders 5 carries for 5 yards. So 10 total rushes for 15 yards. I must have missed some yardage. I'm assuming Honkus was 15 yards rushing or somewhere in that neighborhood. Oh. In any case, Mantino through the air, Connor Herod was 10 of 28 for 82 yards and an interception. Tyler Bueller, 3 receptions for 15 yards. Nick Honkus, 1 reception for -1 yard. Jason Gotkowski, 1 reception for 6 yards. And Caleb Jankuski, 5 receptions for 65 yards. So 82 through the air, 15 on the ground, 97 total yards of offense for Mantino. 3 turnovers. They had a couple of fumbles deep in their own territory, and they threw an interception in the end zone as well. For Wilmington, rushing the football, Billy Moore, 3 rushing attempts for 25 yards and 2 touchdowns. Ryan Kettman, 4 rushing attempts, 45 yards and a touchdown. Travis Van Dyne, 2 rushing attempts for 7 yards. Finn Bryant had a carry for 3 yards. Dane Van Dyne ends up with 13 carries for 95 yards tonight and a touchdown. Nate Couples, 2 carries for 85 yards and a touchdown. Jay Nevels, 3 rushing attempts for 21 yards tonight. Hunter Kachuk, 3 carries for 28 yards and a touchdown. Ryan Schrager, 1 carry for 69 yards and a touchdown. Wilmington ends up with 34 rushing attempts, 391 yards, and 7 touchdowns tonight. They outgain Mantino 395 to 97, and just rack up a ton of touchdowns, and things got kind of crazy there. And Wilmington wins it 49-0 over Mantino. By the way, Coach Rient's on his way up here. He'll be here in just a minute or two.
Well, it was indeed a most unusual game. From the very first, started out strange.
Yeah, it was odd.
I mean, it took us an hour to get the first quarter in. And then we always had the referees take an extra long time to set the ball.
It took forever. It seemed like there was a lot of miscommunication. We had scoreboard issues up here where that went out, and then we had play clock issues, and you had to unplug that. And then we had broadcasting issues that affected some stuff tonight. And then
it just was a tough night.
The first quarter went on forever and a day, and it's just the strangest game.
Point out, everybody had it.
Oh yeah, it was all over. There was all kinds of stuff that happened tonight. We will move on here. Just Coach Rientz will get set to join us here on the postgame show, brought to you by Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond repair over there in Braidwood. 815-458-3300 as the Cats win it tonight, 49-0 over Mantino. And Coach, I can't remember a longer first quarter than that one was, but that was a long first quarter.
It was, yeah, and they were spreading us out, doing their quick passing game. You know what? Some of the time I thought we had great position. Mantino kids made some great plays. Other times we were a little bit out of position, and so give Mantino credit from that standpoint of view. We were very explosive on offense. But because they were going to the passing attack, and then there was, we had some troubles. I don't know exactly what happened with the clock tonight, but there were some things going on there. And so you put all that together, and that is one of the longest first quarters. You're exactly right. Longer first quarters we've ever been involved in. But our kids stayed focused. I thought defensively we got better as the time went on. Offensively, we were very explosive tonight, and we had a lot of explosive plays. And then we got everybody in the game, which is great. I'm very happy for our seniors for their homecoming, and so a great night overall for our program. And so let's see if we'll look at the film. No, I'm sure there's things that we can get better at, but overall we'll take the win tonight and go from there.
Again, it was kind of interesting. We talked in the pregame a little bit about how your DBs kind of go through adjusting as the night goes on. And the first drive, and then a little bit of the second too. Some things happened, but when it got down in the red zone, Billy Moore just continues to do what he needs to do. And there were a couple of plays. There was a play right in front of you on the sideline here that's
terrible.
I don't know how.
I know.
Like what? How are you there?
And so we'll just agree to disagree with the call on that. But Billy's one of our better ones. He's a 3-year starter at that spot. Finn does a really good job. Coach Farrell coaches those guys up great. But, sometimes I was giving help, sometimes I was blitzing, and we've talked about this before. Sometimes they're left by themselves a little bit. And give Mantino credit. I thought their quarterback at times put the ball right where he had to, and their receivers made some nice plays. But we'll get, we had work at that tonight. So now let's get better from that. And I think from 3-4 weeks ago from the Morris game, it's gotten a little bit better and a little bit better. But we can definitely improve from that standpoint of view. But I think going back to what you said, Billy's as solid as they come, and I'm really glad that he's playing well right now.
I was happy to see, too, Dane Van Dyne get some reps with that first-team group after everything that he's done with the second team and just getting a look and going a little bit deeper with the wingbacks and doing a really good job with your first-team group.
Yeah, and you're always looking to get kids in. You're looking to build depth is what we're looking to do. And, Dane's done a great job. A lot of our kids have done tremendous. I mean, they're hard working in the weight room in the offseason. But Dane got a shot tonight a little bit, and that helps. The Donovan kid, we put him at guard a little bit in the mix, and so that helps him. And so, you can practice it all you want until you get out there in the middle. And during that first half, they felt that pressure of, okay, now I need to come through, and there's only one way to do it. You got to play, so Coach Southall did a really good job rotating those guys in, and that's just going to help those guys. And you bring up a great point there, and we need to continue to build that depth, and that's what helps your program overall.
Well, you get a good win in homecoming, and there can't be many times, at least I can't remember in recent history, where 3 home games in a row are sitting there for you. But you have that of good momentum. You get a homecoming win, and now you got a couple more games sitting out there for you to try to roll towards week 9 and on into the playoffs. But it seems to be going – we even talked a little bit about homecoming, what happens when you come out. I think your kids answered that they were ready to do some things tonight.
And and we've had a great homecoming week, and we had a great games day yesterday, and then today the pep assembly, and then the parade. But when the kids got done with the parade and they were here, and we had a walkthrough, they were focused. I could tell right away it was the kids really wanted to play and show everybody. It was a great crowd tonight, and so I told the kids, hey, that they're showing up to watch. They want to see the best Wildcat team that we can give them, and so let's do that. And I think we did that tonight.
All right, Coach, congratulations on another win, and we'll come back and do it next week against Thornton.
All right, sounds good to me, guys. Let's keep this thing going, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, guys, thank you.
All right, Coach Jeff Raines joining us here on the postgame show, brought to you by Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair over there in Braywood at 815-458-3300 as the Cats get the win. We will wrap things up here tonight. We'll be back with you next week. Actually, ironically, we are back with you in a whole bunch of weeks because the Cats are going to be at home a lot, including next week against Thornton. So, got any last parting words of wisdom?
Well, I'm just glad for the 3 games in a row at home. We don't usually get that, and it's nice to keep the home cooking going. I'm looking forward to the end of the season. And got some big games coming up.
That we do. All right, Cats win at 49-0 tonight. Wilmington will move to 4-1 on the year. They'll get Thornton next week. We'll wrap things up. Thank you for joining us here on the postgame show. We'll see you next